Ale fonsaje de. Ale fonsaje. Ale fonsaje. Ale fonsaje. Muna dabo sanka baluo. Ale fonsaje. Mbe useni dabo julalema. Ale fonsaje. Juloka manla maje. Ale fonsaje. Ni aja manla maje. Ale fonsaje. Suluo simmenele da. Ale fonsaje. Useni masata. Alale amansa andi ale bonsai mbaro da bodima ale bonsai mbaro da bodima ale bonsai numukunda da bodima ale bonsai alale bate jola ale bonsai masole bate jola ale bonsai aye gambia bondi bata kono ale bonsai maje modu bele sewota ale ala be nyinkela ale bonsai manso be nyinkela ale bonsai usen bota nyani dobo ale bonsai dobo gaye usen ale bonsai anata kombo tumami ale bonsai londo nata kulli ale bonsai okaelo adabo ale bonsai ayado kuoge gambia Kaya Mandela ale bonsai mayinduru kema ale bonsai alafo salida bokema ale bonsai alale bate joda ale bonsai jilansi sedima ale bonsai ganja mane dimma ale bonsai sali suare dimma dem ale bonsai jari jalo dimma ale bonsai jari fulo dimma si se di male ale bonsai munani tata mali tu ale bonsai munante ni kumbole mude ale bonsai juguna ale fonsaje de ale fonsaje ale fonsaje ale fonsaje muna dabo sanka baluo ale fonsaje mbe useni dabo julalema ale fonsaje juloka manla maje ale fonsaje ni aja manla maje ale fonsaje suluo simmenele da ale fonsaje useni masata ale fonsaje alale amansa andi ale fonsaje mbaro da bodima ale fonsaje mbaro da bodima ale fonsaje numukunda da bodima ale fonsaje alale bate jola ale fonsaje masole bate jola ale fonsaje aye gambia bondi bata kono ale fonsaje maje modu bele sewota ale fonsaje ala
Yo, assalamualaikum baringol mbal konton bantaba yirfana bantaba bi Ramisa Lumba me karotili follow the 1st of May 2025 melbe YouTube kanjide TikTok auto and Facebook mbal bismillah program auto melango program kumma balom in 22 minutes time Mayor of KMC Sotolajan Talib Ahmed Bensouda Tambati on this UDP mainstream platform, UDP Bantaba. Janin Lord Mayor with Dunarek, now Condon Droking a chance de Mola from a join. So, Melbe Facebook, Maldan, also video you share. Melbe TikTok, you know what to do. I'll screen on your tab. Excuse me. I'll screen on your tab. I'll share for wider audience. Baltin to back and Valjaila. So the Lord may not another Kajas of Lajan came Sila Kola and in national issue in the broader context. Balbe Salam Lakal Tendo Baka Fananka Jai Mormon Mekondor and Balbi Lokundra Jela Sajo Cizo South African Mekondunda Yankova Zara Goza. Okay, Balbe Konduna Bakijam. Mo Bijarek Malbe komdundo melmina la nyato domandi balbi kontona back. Mbe camera ba fana mbe broadcast on camera ba official mbe broadcast kan Facebook yidbe la bantaba platform nani bimbe broadcast ko wala to mashallah UDP ala yento le harje nyin nankake for the time being political platform will me alon ko we broadcast on 4 networks at the same time thanks to your support and all platform you muta nyame me duala alama nduna programme kono bismillahir rahmanir rahim na funda kono alhamdulillah rabbil alamin mina diamol men kala jam ntol be sena fasoro je gambia banko ina fasoro je na patio fana no duay savante frole no duay alama ni mani ko furkele in that regard ben colleague konton sangola min kata dawda bankati abe Nottingham abamale min jote ata ñun tan tan bela alama ni mani ko furkele alama alay kayro sobrende banko kon en sa ebisi sembe konton bake america ngejele no ebe kerfato jiwe kan de mo interview misle bari ngala merre ron la mala pa modu wajana ka chaka dia la ni facture I think it's ongoing but mbe tentiro ke la bake mina ka chala kundi na janjade lord no mina mbokay mi na len bu baaxa ba sargana len ngeen share video bi surtout yena xamni ñu ci TikTok dina am waxtaan ak KMC mayor lord mayor Talib Bensouda waxtaan bo xamni ci affaire KMC la tay mom moy njiti KMC mom moy mayor fofu nonu second time win na first time mu ngi def second time te waxon na ni mom du taxawat election so this is going to be his last time wax bari na fi fani ñeneen ñi ñu ko tuumal ne gox bi doxut guten aben problème de Germany ñu ne dafa bàyyi loxoom first time mu doon liggéey second time liggéeyu xam nga so because Lord Mayor Talib Bensouda waa KMC ñoo ko elect su fekkee ne wax baa ngi bari si diaspora bi ñoo xam ne UDP platform la because UDP elected mayor la suñu warugal mooy ñun ñu indi ko fii si platform mu waxtaan te line bi dinañ ko ubbi si TikTok bi you don't have to be a UDP member to call in so mayor bi le waaye da nga naa xaar ba ma pare interview ak moom so dinañ ubbi line si ku nekk nga duga nga laajte sa question si yar ak teegin moo tontu la den wax bi so waaye ñëwuñ fii pour defante ñëwuñ fii pour ñàkk yar yaranduko loolu bantaba duñ ko dee condom waaye ku nekk sa laajte mën nga ko laajte si yar ak teegin because Talib Bensouda waa KMC ñoo ko elect te xam naa ne du doomi UDP rek ñu ko sànni karta so Gambian si am nañ seen right pour ñu scrutinize ko laajte ko mu tontu la because si affaire mbalit yi moom lan la ak kiif si second term bi dinañ si dugga so politically tamit dinañ si dugga tuuti ñu dugga si waxtaan bi mbaadi ngoon mbaal tentu la baake ning Talib Bensouda la ñantoon na kaca sula jang in 18 minutes time mayo be dunna nang pour nay kaca soto ñing kaca be stream kan on Facebook YouTube la banta wala Facebook camera bala Facebook na tata je fanal ba jela right now and in YouTube in TikTok so in platform nano be ni mo wala fra jibe la sa jibe no then me along ko fana live interview here then you can always go back to Facebook and on the YouTube here rerun ni la mani so mbal temple back about jaila so UDP platform be wolto bari amam min ko dimanke UDP ko dimanya na call kala be call so tala TikTok le wala easy tam fe so telephone do gare al sem balal ni momo lafta telephone do nay don TikTok ila question on ni nga lord me jabi ji ay tabaw ay ka kulo ni horomo kan titro baw man na jan sonkala na jan kacalla so nga plano fanan so ka bikama area council fanan chairman so to chairman ba chairman yanko dawo fanan subsequently fanan minala jan because ye tumiro ka fanan ma fon lay ko mbalito bu ko college sa ko bri was on gambe opose ke ton table to diamo warta jan diaspora jan dol fanko ba be nyin ko do men fon di kante scholarship wala manyano dila among priority ko ito la jero to among cool prioritize comme ko ben kuma ta mon focus o kan kiamal yanko bada bo fanam ninga lungu mudo rek inshallah fona minala janne yir fam la banta ba pro be ngana ka sala jam it's really hot today tilobe kandirine and the weather is really lovely the last few days in the UK and I think other parts of Europe So let's hope that, but ngami ko dimaso will have cooler temperatures again. But January dimaso we make most of it, enjoy the hot weather in the UK. So and I think most parts of Europe as well. So at least let's make most of it. So so that's good. I'm really like it. Sumaya tamiri ufana mambedea. Second tol me alam ko wuluta tropical environment le Gambia tol ma wulutu ba bujam. So kandiya kambata ni bakele. Sorry, sumaya kambata ni bakele rara. So mbalten tulo bake. So Lord Mayo benala janne nabe kachala. But jana benala rek. Lafta diamola kundin na la draw. Ngalon ko UDP la media team or probably a statement will be out, or if not, it's not out already, hopefully, about Ning Mansa Kundaya announced like they will be giving ID cards to Gambians in Mauritania, and the immigration department they made a statement about this, but this has raised a lot of suspicion about this. A lot of people are suspicious about it. Mamadi Jobate Jalai Safaroke, and Ndolfana why they have to go all the way, because Kibaro mentioned reportedly sources only Kibaro mentioned within the inner circles of borough government. National Security Advisor, Mr. Geng, idea nata. On what basis? Maybe in a political analysis. So we will delve into this more. Kajibe, what was said, how this whole thing came about, because we have penetrated borough government, thankfully, to the people who are giving us information, and there is always something behind this. So on the current affairs show, Bao Bimu interview Talib Ahmed Bensouda, current affairs show so mbeo ku get jabaka se koto la legend mune be nyin ko komo. And it's good that UDP statement, and not only UDP, all the opposition parties should raise questions about this, because elections are not rigged on the election day. Elections are rigged well before. And Gambia, we have a huge task. Attestations. Attestation on a big problem. It's a big bottleneck for us, affecting free and fair elections in the Gambia. I don't understand in this day and age, Alcalo and Sefo would have to validate somebody's citizenship. That is beyond me. Any Gambian, you become a citizen by birth or by naturalization. There are no other ways. All over the world, citizenship is also through naturalization or by birth. And Gambia la constitution for any so ni mo wuluta Gambia amari nyanda la birth certificate sotolale ananta la wulu kayto sotolale and then ninga mari botanam bantala banko kan ida a fututale or a asylum like malum for more asylum ni Gambia le bang I don't know, but ni fututa Gambia no you go through process of what naturalization is citizenship sort of, but ni Gambia okakeje kabrin PPP la jamano Mol kana Gambia rek the one mo ina Gambia within 2-3 months ya Gambia ID card soto a Gambia passport soto wolo nga explain platform to jante nga Nigeria national jelem fon melong ala Gambia passport soto a kay ko le bondi a gal duku and wo passport le dund Angleterre jam. I'm not making up stories, and I know there are a lot of people affected. So right now, ninga naman sa kundaje ko kata kaito le di moto. Why Mauritania? Because Senegal, they cannot do it in Senegal. Senegal has a very responsible government now, and Sony Macky Sall they would have tried it in Senegal, and who knows whether they are doing it in other countries. So Malon, but in Mauritania tale funtita ngamela UDP la statement on Malon fa funtita because ngaje draft copy ni la tilibulo ni UDP la media team Malon fa funtita le bang. But it's good that we come out and condemn this and demand accountability at the ranks of the National Assembly. And on a deputy nyanta nyin jibelan nga mulu moyle e ka fo UDP nyanta nyin kala executive nyanta nyin kala nyina banku dingol le fo nyanta na the credibility of our election dola nyanta ka protect. We cannot leave everything in the hands of the National Executive of UDP. Olo nga vo platform do to nim bamba so be nunje one platform UDP platform olong ko alinga nyin narrative bula UDP executive cannot police the whole of Gambia. They don't even have the means. And some people are accusing evidence of the UDP executive like Moneke. Ite Moneke, what have you done? Ajaratu Yamunoge Yabo, national president of UDP. So Yabo Inuinala. Thank you for watching. Talib Bensouda dina ñoo fi dina am waxtaan bu am solo ak moom. Fan la KMC tollu tey. Where was KMC balaa mu dugg si second time bi? And moom si xalaatam ndax improvement mu ngi am ndax KMC dafa dellu gannaaw because am na ñu tuumal ne dafa bàyyi loxoom ñu ne first time Talib liggéey na waaye second time ñu ne Talib liggéeyut am na ñu ko tuumal noonu dinañ ko laajte ñu ne dëkk bi tilim na KMC tilim na KMC setut so sewu séddale dinaa ko laajte probing questions yes Talib suñu meyo la fi UDP platform la but when it comes to the job we will do it in the best interest. We will open the lines people to call in as well. You don't have to be a member of UDP to call in here. Call in and have a question. Ask Talib questions that you want to ask. Our elected officials will always subject themselves to the media. All right. So this is the topic today. So Talib will come in. I just spoke to him not long ago before my new life. So he's ready to come on. So dinner via video, hopefully. Let's fingers crossed. Let's hope that the internet will be okay. Because Gambia internet sometimes kaputle, the internet connection, but I think Talib has a very strong internet connection. So hopefully that shouldn't be a problem for us. So Nana Rajara dinañ wax si ta xamna interview bi si local language lañ ko def or is in English, but maybe we will try to do it in the local language so that the wider audience can benefit from it. So we will try and try to do that. Maybe anglais bi mom fa ñu dugg ko fa. Xam nga ñun xalé yi dugg ci anglais mënu ñu laka olof wala source bi taw dugg fa anglais lolu man mënuma wax completely programme yëpp dugg mo fa anglais mënuma ko suma dama try ça. For the first time I'm feeling the heat in the UK today. It's really hot. And I think sometimes the humidity also goes up. But there we go. Let's make most of it. So mbadi ngolo nying immigration nying kaiti ko Mauritania manyana ignore and all oppositions should actually talk about it. Tiena hell nguri bari Africa election bi dañ ko dé sacc. So ko waxe ñu ne wa ñi opposition lañ attestation bi dañ ko wara génné ci sun luway. And I want to thank our UDP National Assembly members for making all the effort to stop this attestation. Ya fa to sane suma sister bu babi ajaratu nuy na la muna sanyang na sister kendo me den janam be konto na salamu alaykum salam fa dabo na ci aledi me redin yani UK chapter nyanta ben redin sa de kono na face to face meeting o al se douanier. Every year we hold face to face all the branches send representatives UK chapter. We have this vibrancy UDP UK chapter, and we'll be meeting in Reading. It'll be in host, inshallah, on the 10th. We'll be there, inshallah. Najati will be kala Reading quality. So, and also we're having a gala on the 18th of October 2025 in Birmingham. Birmingham UDP UK chapter gala on fundraising. We expect the Secretary General and the party leader, José Dabo, to be here, inshallah, another delegation. A lot of European countries are also organizing events, and Seattle is also hosting the second diaspora convention on the 2nd of August. We expect the party leader and another delegation to be in Seattle. And also there will be Sweden is on the, France is the 13th of September. We should be in France on the 13th of September for fundraising, France chapter. And on the 27th will be Sweden. 4th of October, I think that is gas chapter, should be in Austria. And also Spain also is doing a convention, and then the party leader is expected to come from Spain to the UK on the 18th, where he's going to wrap up his visit to Europe and then return to the Gambia. So the last stop will be the UK, inshallah, fundraising gala. So the flyers will be out very soon. I'll be flyer Jella, UDP, because we are always very serious in fundraising to help our party. We are not as rich as NPP anyway, but we know where their source of money is. NPP is on life support. When Barrow is out of power, NPP will be dead. We know that. UDP, if my election will win, but 1996, alhamdulillah, nyumfi, the dagger like the Ganadem Sikanam. So, mainly, our party is not on life support. We are a serious opposition party. And alhamdulillah, because people are loyal to the party and not to their pockets, most of it. Okay, another thing is Iko UDP Molga Saune. I was watching one NPP platform. Ndunda jele TikTok or the me palantero after nga 2 minutes like a jembotaji. Iko UDP la mol bebe saunkan. Ngo Momo la fita kodola la fita palaso ebe saunale. Why they don't go to GDC? Why they don't go to DOI? You know, I have asked this question. How come they all move to NPP? They don't want NPP. They don't want Adama Barrow, but they want Halis. The day they will know that when Barrow is out of power, they then kick Barrow fale, come lun kick on Yaya Jame, because these are opportunistic folks. They don't do politics. They use UDP as a ladder. The UDP, I think we have learned our lessons now. And there will be strategic change in this. There should be strategic change on this welcoming. People who use UDP, a political profile will build because so kubuga niti ranyela la si politics rek. Nga United Democratic Party, nga you si WhatsApp audio yi, you know UDP la carry, you build your profile while your end game is you want to join NPP. We understand the game. And they don't want Barrow. They have no loyalty to Barrow, but they just want to butter their bread. Nit ko xamne yow da nga am principle comme man Sekou Sedeli and UDP la nek place taxut ma dem NPP soxluma butut ci NPP soxluma place Adama Barrow Adama ma dé sax muma gënal ma dem NPP wana ko fi man duma musa dem NPP. I have said it on Bantaba. Su fekkee ne may God forbid xamna ne duma lefinza waaye su ne ma dem ci benen opposition ma dem doy for example. Because so nigga opposition, so cross carpet. Damal si benang opposition bi. Why you ngane opposition ga? Lolo da ngane opposition. Why ngane opposition ga dem si ruling party? Then what sort of party are you? If you are an opposition party and you mean your words, you are true to yourself. If you are not happy with UDP, why don't you go to PDIS? Why don't you go to GDC? Just like MC Cham moved from GDC to UDP. Why ñom yépp falan de jublu bunti NPP because xaalis bu fa nekk te ñoom ñoo gën a bari fi wax well Barrow is the same prosingil ngalo nga lafta ko la dol bi jol mu konkoto leti ñeneen ñi dañu xiif sona ku buga am xaalis nag lolo tay in fact you will see more of them going. Member Keka is the tip of the iceberg. You will see most of these people then in 2026 albe mo jamala jele be sawuna bari ngo Kamara batita NPP Ibrahima Dibatira NPP. Yes. Kiamal Yankuba Dabo atira NPP de. So you know they have principle. Mbo Chedikan atira NPP. Boture atira NPP. Ajaratu Genaba Mas atira NPP. Farsen Sabali atita. Kap ata the list can go on and on. But you know me be kasawundai. Ebe mo opportunist toilet. Because nganyim fole ni sawu Gambia rek nga ko legis ibe sawu na ko totol ite man principle soto ite tara sawu na bitu one party to na ite mo sifale yo ban façon nit nga wala na ni mo sifa man jare Monica Sonka fam because mo ke la profile le jibe anoni la fay ko politics as no permanent friend abe mo kalabante ya doron ni amo mo ka fara kalabante o because they are opportunistic folks who have entered politics. Because imala fika bata tubabu du jang rew tubabi fi so ñewé fi ba mamas imu totolet ni nata tubabu du jang da nga ñaxtu da nga liggéey nga mëna survive but there is nobility in work, there is dignity in labor. Man say who said the best suma demé liggéey xawma ndax lolu def len de dal yeen suma joggé fi dem liggéey ñew I am so relaxed because xam naa ne dama dem liggéey suma awasi weer bi su dee salary buñ ma fay tuuti na bari na maa ko liggéey te suma ko spend sax dama dee santa yàlla foog naa nit ku nekk loolu nga war a mel waaye yow nga xelaat ne dama war a ride on the back of the government dama war a toppa Barrow pour ma am moto bu baax dama war a toppa Barrow pour ma am fuel coupon yow ba façon nit nga demal nga liggéey aduna bi so mënu ta liggéey Gambia sa nga dem bitim réew waaye ñu ngi toxu rek ba pare ñeneen ñi di wax ne waa Barrow mu ngi jeexal UDP nit yami mané ñun opposition lañ ñun amuñu xaalis ku amul xaalis Kamara Ba moom moo dee ron plateforme am da ngeen foog ne Kamara Ba bëggul dara Kamara Ba na la fa ko la fa mi da NPP le but he has principle wala ne ko lafta tumiro kelantol la janne ndol UDP diaspora ikon dolle nga Talib accuse ko Talib na ko do mo ko mo man soto nde am the deputy head of UDP media team ben dega ne ko fa ndol ma mo tumi but hopefully kibarol be gema Sénégal ale politico man jere nga kan wala ñola ni moy personal beef soto Barrow ni momo ko Barrow mo peaceful president Barrow mo jele arrest jang Barrow ni criticize call beje ame Ibrahima di ba call for questioning ndoma men fon kadi amude ndoma nala men ka buroda signaje le police oli arrest ala last arrest on dolle nga 200,000 odi ala UDP diaspora bari mbeddan na jele about Talib Duntale. Like Duntale Talib lan dunda mo lañ tala big screen. Aha, this is fair. This is fair. Ñu ne fair ni Lord be obey tarajam. Lord me be ñaadi. Ay be naka na def.
Maa ngi nii rek na ngeen def.
Korona de be me manika kama folal de.
Ah. Maybe few months time.
Few months time. Ibe ñaadi, how are you? You okay?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Talib, thank you so much. Lord Mayor Talib Bensouda, thank you again. This is not your first time on YouTube Online Bantaba, but jenga fi nak. Jenga fi.
Diga la gëj naa torop de.
Jenga torop. Hana sa loxo bi mo jappa busy la nga ndax.
Well, yeah, I guess ñaka jot la rek.
Why you are always on platform because bu yagot nga am interview ak Peter Gomez tamit.
Yeah, that's my first interview. It's my first interview in maybe 2 months, 3 months.
2 months. Okay,
yeah.
well, reason. You decided to take a break on interview?
No, well, it's based on invitation and availability.
Invitation. Okay,
yeah.
I know you went to Pamudu Tamit for some time ago, and also Kirifatu. So,
well, actually, Pamudu Kolnamasa. He's looking to do another interview. So,
okay.
Hopefully,
Mango just mama Kirifatu. You have interview. How many of them send interview?
Nyari Pepe.
Man, why? Suñu boroda mu ne ñu bari ñu ngi wax ci dëkk bi léegi moom ñeneen ñi ñu ngi bitim réew mënu ñoo wax moom moo tax ñoo ñu commencé di wax xanaa dafa gaarawaale nag
mi ngi wax de fana yow la moo wax de
non fana Pa Modou la moo wax Pa Modou mu ngeen diaspora fii
mi ngi gaarawaale de
gaarawaale waaye loolu may nuyu naa la nga nuyu wante ak audience bi because this program has been streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. UDP Media, right?
UDP Online Bantaba. Mm-hmm.
Online Bantaba. You're right.
Yeah. Jerejef, Lord Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Lord Mayor, so how are you doing now? Nakanga say you've been re-elected, alhamdulillah, second term in office.
Yeah.
Landslide. Even though Adama ak teamam bi yep ñoo campaign to make sure nga daanu.
Absolutely.
Mashallah, the people of KMC put their trust and confidence in you. So since you re-elect la, how nakala things email be legi? Maybe you can start it from there. How are you? What is the state of KMC now?
Right. I think you started it well. We fought election bunga hamne mo for na musuta as far as mayoral is concerned. It was presidential level, and it was a hard-fought victory. And Yala Defna, Alhamdulillah, we won with big margins, and we won with more seats, even more than in 2018 when I was unknown. So we also doubled my vote, which was also great. And it was a sweet victory because of the level of fight we had to go through. Propaganda warfare. There was money. They of course had more finances. They had more people on the ground. Basically, the entire government apparatus. One day, as soon as we came out of the election, of course, then guys start commission of inquiry, which was planned way before Nyunsing election.
Yeah.
So it's been just one fight to the next.
Yeah.
And with all of that, I think we've done relatively well. We've delivered on several projects. We've opened a municipal library. We've delivered 7 parks to the people of KMC.
7 parks? Wow.
Yeah, 7 parks.
Wow.
We've added to our truck fleet. We've launched a local language section at our library. We are currently building an assembly hall at Charles Jau and a commerce wing. We've done quite a lot.
Parks you know because mange dega ñeneen sa ci ben programme ñu ne places like KMC parks are not there, recreational centers. Why you wax ne 7 parks.
So I find that a lot of Gambians are very quick to go online. They don't engage with their local leaders. In KMC, we've done very well in opening 19 ward offices. So
Okay.
every area, every ward, councilor and the VDC or WDC, there's an office where you can go get information. I'm the website, which is very active. I'm the toll-free number 1244. You can call
Yeah,
for
1244.
information.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the town hall is there. People, they're busy, but if you need information, you can come there. So I find that a lot of Gambians, they know them online, like
Wow.
comment or
Wow.
criticize, and they don't bother to find out what is in their locality. But am nañ 7 parks.
Wow. Fan la pass yi nek am na kuy laccé ci TikTok bi. Mu ne where are
So
those
am
parks?
nañ Bakau. Bakau is very busy. Mi ngi am half court basketball, mi ngi am six-a-side football, mi ngi am children's playground, mi ngi am a functioning toilet. Mi ngi am outdoor gym. Outdoor gym bi mi ngi ñëw May on the platform bang fa. So Bakau is quite busy. You see, they use.
Yeah.
Of course, traffic light is the most famous one in partnership with AfriCell.
Wow.
Bobo is super duper busy. Bobo is a full court basketball and outdoor gym. Am nañ buffer zone, the children's center at Talinding.
Wow.
Bobo tam is a super busy park with children's playground, six-a-side football.
Wow.
Am nañ benen park Bundung Jolakunda, very busy park. Am nañ benen park Kotu. Kotu after fire station bi. Tey rek maa ngi fa romba. maa ngi xale yaa ngi play football yeneen xale yu ndaw yi ñu ngi si slide bi. Boobu tam gym baa ngay ñëw in May. Kotu Botanical Garden, which is now our most popular park. Boobu ñu ngi ko ubbi I think 3 weeks ago. Bobo has a very, very, very well equipped gym. Mi ngi am stage for art shows. Mi ngi am pond for fish pond. Mi ngi am children's playground, very active one.
Yeah.
It's very green and scenic. Bobo Mom is my favorite park, and it's by far. Tey maa ngi gis suma driver bi. Kenn moo ma seen nataal ne suma driver bang fa di exercise.
The
Which is
exercise.
quite interesting. My
Wala
own driver.
man Bob Touré tamit suñu demee dañu wara dem fofu exercise.
Exactly. That one is a very popular park.
Wow.
So ñu ngi am Bakote Park, which is Bobo is almost done. Bobo Mom ubem guñ ko. Yeah,
Okay.
but these are the parks. They're quite busy around the municipality. People love it.
I found that tontonga because bu nga waxee 7 xam naa ne gars ñu yone oh he's just making that up. Why now?
Man, you don't contact. I was not even
No,
counting.
man, you don't leral fi dañu banta
okay,
leral because UDP we have nothing to hide. So
exactly.
So thank you, Lord Mayor. Achievements you know they are tremendous.
Yeah.
Why naka ngeen tolu bala ñu dugg ci affaire commission bi fan ngeen tolu ak this development fund ak any local government act dafa stipulate ne nguur gi dañu leen wara support.
Still zero. No new
Ñaata lañ leen
buyer.
wara jox annually sax ñaata lañ leen wara jox.
So they have to give us 25% of our development fund.
Okay.
So KMC, that will constitute, let's say our development fund is around 220 million around.
Okay.
So 25% of that is roughly around 60 million maybe. So ñun musuñu ko jox. So am na benn year. There was 1 year we complained.
Wow.
Well, 1 year we complained. They give us each 2 million for the year. But that was it.
So is it also true when it comes to the revenue side, billboards ak garages yi nguur gi dañ nangu loolu noonu revenues from that side ñoom ñoo ko doon
That's true. So we don't collect taxes for billboards. That goes to NRA.
Yeah.
Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency ñoom ñoo dey collect livestock taxes. Gambia Tourism Board ñoo dey collect all taxes along the TDA in terms of licenses. The car park fees government ñoo ko dey collect. So guys every year they ñu dey jox ku nekk 2 million. When councils were collecting it, Sakatama KMC, they could raise up to 30 million from it. So those are things that they've taken away from the council, and they are still not allowing us to charge many taxes that we should charge that are normal. So they may take it to Bavi or a functioning municipality. So utilities, for example, Moisa Nawek bill, Moisa telephone bill. In most cities, they do have a utility tax, a municipal tax. If you go to hotels, even your room tax, hotels municipality, then they were room tax on it. So we are service-driven institutions. Then you hungry for revenue. Then you solar halis to deliver services. Then you solar halis for liggéey. So that's why then you were buy, you muna collect tax, you were collect, but that's not happening.
that's not happening jërëjëf Lord Mayor mbokk yi yéen a ngi déglu interview ak Lord Mayor of KMC Talib Bensouda dinaa ubbi line si later waaye bàyyi leen ma am one to one with him and then after mu ngeen a dugg si TikTok bi ngeen laajte question you don't have to be a UDP supporter to be on this platform even if because
that's great.
Yeah, no, fee we are open. Mamadou Ndiaye mu
very democratic, huh?
Yeah, Mamadou Ndiaye you guys new fee. One I was on another platform. I announced it there. Man, then Talib dina ñëw Bantaba.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I like that.
Yeah. You don't have to be a member of UDP to be here, and we'll take the calls and speak to you.
Yeah.
Lord Mayor, balama duga si yanayi. There are, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They were nekkoon si benn platform. ñu doon waxtaan because ñun dañ dee nekk si TikTok bi dara di am conversation ñun from different political parties la UDP ñeneen ñi Sobeya ñeneen ñi PDOIS dañ dee am léegi discussion bi daf dee xala ñanga tuuti nag because xam nga different political suñ fa àggee but one thing that came out of those meetings a man as a UDP member dañ ma laajte ñu ne allegedly ñu ne yow sa first time da nga liggéeyoon trop why this second time nga bàyyi sa loxo because some are saying maybe because you are not going to seek for another term because you're not going to seek for another term so ñu ne affaire mbalit collection dëkk baa ngi tilim dëgg nañ fi Adama Barrow mu ne dëkk baa ngi tilim ak some of his advisors Ibrahima Silla bu yàggut la wax mu ne you guys are not working dëkk baa ngi tilim so I think lii dafa am solo pour ñu leeral ko affaire mbalit collection bi fan la tool because ñu ngi wane ñu ngi fay seen lempo but their rubbish is not being collected. So,
absolutely. So, I think, in our first term, we did a lot of work. A lot of fighting.
Yeah.
So, in my first 3 years, I was working uninterrupted. Relatively free. But then, in that 3 years of trying to push things, trying to set trends, and did unprecedented work. We were met with a lot of fighting, unprecedented levels of interference, government, the new fight, left, right, and center. So I think one important thing that every person has to note, mayors, we are not executives. We are chairpersons of a council, which is a body of elected councillors who sit together and the mayor chairs and they vote on things. So it takes a level of will to get things done because you are a lead and you have to use a lot of influence and soft power to get things done. What makes it more difficult, you're working with a local service, staff, you nga xamne duñ sa boss.
Yeah.
Yow do len mëna hire, do len mëna daha. And that makes the work more difficult. And especially in a scenario where you're opposition council, because basically your people who hate you, people who are your rivals, or you can even say maybe your enemies, are the ones hiring your staff that should help you deliver. And they're the ones who can fire those staff. And if 2020, everybody remembers the issue of the then CEO, Senabu Martin.
Yeah.
So, man buma ñëw council, CEO buma fa fekka, sorry, fekkuma fa CEO in fact. Because interim management committee ñoom Bakary Jammeh ñoo daxa CEO bu fa nekkoon man dama fa fekk acting CEO acting CEO boobu bu mu resigné ministry bi def keneen mu act then for 2 years we had acting CEOs and an acting director of finance and then when it came time for hiring a CEO they hired who they liked mooy Senabu Martin and a new director of finance against my recommendation, against my will. Dañ ko manipulate basically in a way bu nga xam ne is illegal, and now the Supreme Court has supported my case. CEO bu mu defee tapale, I mean, then we tried to get rid of a guy bañ. And remember PIU ñëw si office bi. So I only had 2 years of relative focus to deliver on services. So for the next 2 years, the last 2 years of my first term was basically bu guys seen PIU ñun ñu dem court ñu am injunction against the CEO. Injunction boobu bu mu expire guys send that PIU. Then Minister bi Musa Dramé attempted ministerial commission of inquiry. Basically their target was to remove me from office. You defeat Lulu at the High Court.
Yeah.
And then they tried to bring an interim management committee. We removed Lulu at the Supreme Court. Then we went through an election of hell, basically. Guy, this smear campaign. So when you realize legally they were having difficulty, they changed gears. They're going to now try to damage my reputation, create smear campaign, propaganda, tales and stories to try to defeat me at an election. I doubled my margin, I doubled my seats.
Yeah.
Sorry, I increased my seats. And basically they now set up a national commission of inquiry. But even this national commission of inquiry, yep, it's my affair more time. So my answer in summary, Moy, can you imagine with all of these assaults, the amount of psychological strength it had to take me to keep the council together as a functioning institution? On top of that, I have staff that are not particularly loyal to us, Daniel Fafeka from the former APRC regime. And then a lot of them switch sides to NPP, and they're basically NPP staff. And with all of that, we were able to pay our salaries, we were able to complete projects, we were able to deliver. Now, imagine what a normal mayor should be like, a normal mayorship. I should be an executive. I should come with my cabinet. I should be able to hire my team and fire my team. I should be able to control the finances fully. There's no such thing as outside interference. So in a normal council, man as a mayor, I should be the executive. The councillors will hold me accountable. They will be acting like my parliament. And they will be making sure that I am executing projects as they desire. And there's a third layer of oversight, more the parliament and the National Audit Office. But Gambian system is designed to make sure councils are weak.
Okay.
And because during live contest time, he was the Fanekon mayor who among influence, who was proactive, he was delivering, and the then president didn't like that. So they made a lot of amendments in the act to make mayors weak and the councils weak, because at the Gambia Dekabu Tutila, so presidents easily look at mayors as potential political challengers. I mean, Dekabiyep is 2.5 million. KMC alone is 500,000 people. So, Lolu Mota, I guess a lot of difficulty came. Now, after my first term, the difficulty, of course, is continuing, because a lot of this stuff, what happened is they started getting confused. Are they answerable to the council? Are they answerable to the ministry? So a lot of them, they reduce their productivity, doing they nango deliver. Kubuga liggéey sa dafa ragal. Ñeneen ñi, they have sort of a loyalty issue. They don't like the council. They have other affiliations. So you're on your side with government naturally. But coming directly to the issue of waste management, KMC's waste management capacity is unprecedented. Musuda am si réew mi. And Belegi, it is the #1 council in waste management. Ñun luñ am si motombalit. All the other councils combined, we have double the amount of trucks they have. We have 32 waste management vehicles.
32.
We have 2 second-hand old tractors and 1 second-hand old truck. So we have
32.
We have 32 brand new waste management trucks. If you add all the other councils combined, Lalawa, we have double the amount of vehicles they have. Now, this issue ne KMC dafa tilim. It is a propaganda tool. So just in the time of the mayoral elections, they were trying to look at what will stick. They tried Talib dafa corrupt. It couldn't stick. Then you try different things. Then you know, okay, now you want the KMC dafa tilim. That's when it started. But let me tell you something. Gambia si bopa mo tilim. Okay. Gambia,
it's not something laughable, but
from Kartong to Koina, Gambia si bopa moy dekabutilim.
Wow.
Look, I've gone the length and breadth of this country. KMC is one of 2 area councils, but I'm 24/7. Sorry, but I'm 24/7 street cleaning, and with all that,
Mamadou Ndiaye
still litter.
Yeah,
we are one of two. Ñun ak Banjul City Council. Ba pare ñun ñoo am the most comprehensive street cleaning in all of Gambia. Ñun soo xoolee tey Brikama Highway, we have about 15 cleaners, 3 shifts di clean tali boobu noonu. Soo xoolee Sel Job Avenue, we have about 20 cleaners, 3 shifts you dey clean tali boobu. Soo xoolee Palmarima Junction, Senegambia New Road, Manjai Road, nga xool Kairaba Avenue, basically nga xool MDI Road, we have about 150 street cleaners. You know, I'm saying rek moy pour bale mbeda bi. Now the problem is KMC is a very densely populated municipality. So whole municipality, it has 5,000 people per square kilometer. The national average is 176 people per square kilometer. So ñun pour waste mu accumulate dafa gaaw. Because KMC dafa urbanized, dafa dense. So nit ñi di am habit of sani mbalit. Dafa mel ni New York City wala London rek. If people have a habit of littering, for KMC to be dirty is very, very, very quick. Recently, sa Bundung Highway, Bugay just defar. There was a lot of complaints ne dafa tilit. But remember, highway bobo before it was paved, talila. One day because ninya nge sani mbalit mi nge jahaso suuf bi ken du ko gis. One day when it was paved, it became visible. But recently, ñu fa deploy 6 street cleaners. Bundung Highway is clean now. Ken waxatut. Now, waste collection bitam. So all vehicles see. To a certain degree, productivity started going down as far as the vehicles are concerned, but likely because ñi age. So
depreciation. They are depreciating.
Exactly. So they have more regular breakdowns.
Okay.
So what we've detected more as they're aging, vehicles breakdowns ñi yoku. So this year, the new budget almost $6 million to have all the vehicles go over a total rehabilitation and overhaul.
When did you do that?
Award nine contract. So vehicles don't duga into the garage.
Okay.
So basically, lolu mota in many areas, service bit of a hala them down. But what we've seen tamoy, when we came, the service was at 4% collection. Then it rose to 70%. Now it is somewhere around 65%. But the reason being, over this last 8 years, KMC never experienced population growth.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's more desire for people to want to live in.
But has that translated into more revenue? Because somebody can also understand if more people are coming to KMC, maybe if the demands are high up, maybe your revenue base also will be going up.
It's increased incrementally. One of the biggest problems really disturbs in revenue. Monica government defined valuation role. So as per the law, councils are not allowed to value properties. The family a valuation role in the Rates Act. Every 5 years, Ministry of Lands, then you want to value all properties along the length and breadth of the Gambia. You hand over those new valuations to councils. Use that as their tax rate. For the past 20 years, definitely. Last one was 2005. And they still don't want councils to do it.
Lord Mayor, I have an idea of, we are not talking about becoming a council. I'm not roughly they collect revenue, but we'll come to that. But I found been a comment. One of you, she's a resident, James Mune, you have trucks, but my area in Fajara, you don't collect trash there. Yai say Jawara Samba, Kukumo bin the comment be. Mune, you have all these trucks in her area. Nicola and collect ballot. So what do you say?
Wow. So my first question is now visiting the councillor of the area.
Okay.
Or the community contact. The councillor of the area is the deputy mayor herself, Pinta Jane Jallo. Her office is in Newtown.
Okay.
So that's your first point of contact. So so contact her, she will ensure a service is rendered to that area at least once a week.
Okay. All right, that is interesting, Lord Mayor. So, admit Gane, there's downtown, but it's also largely because trucks in age and also due to the depreciation. But this is going through. You service these trucks. Hopefully, since service your truck, then we will see improvement in collection in the whole of see. Okay, that's interesting. So, man, legi man see the famous local government commission, Talib.
Yeah.
And by the way, congratulations to you as well. KMZ won this Supreme Court verdict. Bo young don't reference a very Senable Martin.
Yeah.
Then just Lulu, that ugly scene, the government uniform, police, them daji buntavi, that we remind of the dark days of the dictatorship. Understand? Uganda. We thought we would never witness such a thing, but the government did it. But at least the court has spoken. They said, the government shouldn't do what they did. So what would you say on that? Victory for you. And most of the time, just not trend vitamin. You keep winning most of your cases against this government. This is not the first time, So I wonder maybe because I be loyal home because some people say Talib I be loyal. The college of proper guidance.
So we've won these. We've won 3 out of 3 cases. 1 in the High Court, 2 in the Supreme Court. I have excellent advice. So on the more than that, Mandumane Dara without consulting with the law first.
Yeah.
So I think even before I do any action, I seek advice from, first of all, Nyunsing Council lawyer, who's Yasin Senghor, who's a brilliant lawyer, an excellent lawyer. So I need no other advice. Of course, it's well known that Sma Mayor be lawyer, Sma brother Aziz lawyer. That is for secondary advice, but the primary credit goes to Yasin Senghor, who's had an excellent track record, and Lulu Mota Nujilko as a council lawyer. And we consult. KMC, I can tell you, is one of the most structured institutions in this country. There was zero governance. Everybody knows it was a political platform to promote the former regime's politics. So when we came, the biggest challenge was institutional reform, and I still say that is our biggest success. So for make sure there's governance within KMC, it's not perfect. It's by no means close to perfect, but it's a vast, big improvement from where we were. More than the Commission of Inquiry should have gone further, should have gone back to back to 96 to 2023, because Bobo dinga am context of basically what improvement. Hamga so hole tay Louis House Council it's very easy to say, oh, these councils are doing A, B, and C, but for the most part, these councils new exist now are like angels compared to Ludan Hell. So that institutional reform, dafa tax lu bari dafa change KMC. Dañu am CEO bu es ku jóge Janjanbureh Passer Cissé. The first comment he said to me was, "Mayo man dama jaale fii kenn du dee gis xaalis." You know, everything goes from direct to bank. Everything goes direct to bank. So they don't see physical cash, and he thought that was strange. Well, it used to happen. We reduced a lot of inefficiencies. We took out a lot of basically mismanagement and malpractice, but they still exist. So you am 90% score where we did a lot more. We need HR control. Man as a mayor who's gone all around the municipality, I should be empowered to hire my team, to bring people I believe can enact on my vision, can implement what I see. Man, luma gisal KMC is so far from lo am right now.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult for me to implement it if I don't have my team. And if I don't have control over that team. You inherit, so nobody doing they understand. A lot of people luñ dee foog ne mayor loolu la mun a def. And mayor ban ability la am. Dañu dee toolaale president. Which is the misconception. President executive la. He has hard power, raw power. Mayors luñ am rek moy soft power. All we can do is bring the council together, build consensus. Tay suma bëggee génne staff because he's inefficient. I have to go to an appointments committee, write them a letter and say, this staff is not productive, he's inefficient, he should be replaced. Lolo process la ñom suñ agree, it comes to the council has to vote and agree, then it goes to the local government service commission at the ministry. And in most cases, ñooñu su agé si ñom duñ agree because you know
amolen autonomy.
We don't have autonomy and we don't have control. So
you let them blame. Then you wanna they need to be mindful because you don't have I don't think you are even semi-autonomous, sir, the way you are explaining.
Yeah, we are not. You know, xam nga liggéeykat mooy lu nekk. Man, I am a one human being. I cannot run a municipality. I rely on people that I should be able to hire and fire and manage. So, man, suma munta am control over those people. It will be, you cannot expect me to deliver on a lot of the ambitions that I have. You cannot expect me to deliver on a lot of the inspirations or aspirations of the residents. So it's very, 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 very difficult. More than every day, people feel that we are problematic, but we are frustrated.
Yeah. Lord Mayor, sa guy ñu la nuyu nak Keba Sabali
Yeah,
mo nuyu la ak sa soppe
absolutely.
bu nekk Germany Margaret Njie.
Yeah, that's
Margaret
my
moom
lady. Yeah.
mu ne bu ma la laajte tough question sax mu ne doon double sonal suma mayor so moom kay die hard talib la moom anyway
Money.
Lord Mayor léegi ñu dugg si this xam naa ne tontu nga some of these questions over and over but we'll use this interview also to revisit affaire local government commission because bu yàggut laa dégg allegation ne yow bu nga yónni sa driver pour mu dem utal Canadian visa ñu ne yow sa boppa da nga duggoon plane nga dem si embassy bi foofu ndax loolu amoon na ndax you didn't only send your driver but you also yow sa boppa da nga demoon
so basically administration looks at what is the fastest and most efficient way in which we can get our visas. The sad part about Gambia, Monica, 90% of the visas you need, you have to go to Senegal.
Yeah.
So that is a failure on the part of the foreign affairs. So the second issue, Moy, when we go to Senegal, we have to double triple.
Yeah.
You have to go and surrender your passport. You have to go again
and collect
and pick it up and pick up your passport.
Yeah.
So it just depends what service is available at that embassy. Now we are finding that 90% of embassies, you don't only have to drop your passport, but danga yoni put them jeli sa passport.
Yeah.
So basically, government officials or ministers, ministers, professor, some drive, some fly. So it just depends on what is the best practice and what is the way you can do it efficiently. Now, incidents in your court are funny to me because one, a lot of the incidents where the expenses are below $100,000. Two, most of that money is not even coming to my pocket. It's going to staff C, and that driver be a staff you want them send per diem 10,000, 20,000. So incidents are so small or so irrelevant. Dumade muna remember details, sir. When the one they were making a lot of noise about, moine mandama them apply suma visa, and lutah ma wara yone pour nit dem jël suma visa. How come I could not send it through DHL? So basically, PR manager who was facilitating the visa went with a driver and went to pick up the passport for a trip that cost around 40,000, 45,000. Moi basically sent per diem and essence. And they started shouting everywhere. And it's so interesting. Man, lumare jahal Gambia. Officials that we all know are wasting state resources. They put their pasar. Feeling them New York, China, Saudi, with a private plane, with 100 officials.
$29 million.
And they spent $29 million. They're accusing me of being wasteful, spending $45,000 to go get
so Lord Mayor, you don't get an argument. You know, use DHL and
it's not available. Mangi joge Dakar 2 weeks ago. I'm applying for Austrian passport. Same issue. There's no service. Then you have to pick it up or give somebody an authority to pick it up.
Okay.
So basically, legaluñ door di discover dañu am benn waji fofu. He facilitates the pickup. Then legi daf ko dey jox kuy ñew through GTSC bus, which is not even secure. So koko dañ ko fay about $5,000-6,000 mu ñew through GTSC bus mu ñew indi la sa passport. That's a recent service.
Koko Gambian la Sénégalais la.
Waaw kuy liggéey kooku Sénégal la.
So guy ñan ñoo commencé loolu nguur gi la ndax
well so kooku somehow has a connection to the
agent la
agent la waaw somehow has a
Okay.
connection to the
So mu ngee def li privately so kooku def day dem collect yi ñu fay ko mu indi. But it's
no
not
so
even.
kooku is based in Senegal so kooku léegi daf day fay somebody a random person
Yeah, Bob
kuy
too.
ñëw
I think it's
Gambia.
Australian visa he meant to say. Mu ne yaa ngi wax Australian passport. Foog na Australian visa la, right?
I keep saying Australian visa. Wow, so
Australian.
Mbaro balaa ngay doon ma accuse
Bala
Australian
ñoo ne
visa.
road now dafa apply pour am Australian citizenship.
You know they said xam nga Canadian visa bi ñu ne dama am Canadian passport.
Passport,
Ma-
wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
I love
basically,
it. Man,
yeah,
mom, I don't see the because somebody like you,
yeah,
as mayor, as a passport, with the forward in safe hands. I don't think that
yeah,
those
exactly.
parties are safeness are putting them the forward. And nobody man, I think the Lulu is like a drop in the ocean compared to what the government is spending.
It's nothing.
Nobody
And
the government officials new, but they send passports. They only send private. You them collect.
no, I'm gonna lu xew Sew. Before the commission of inquiry, they were told many illusions that they
Yeah.
wanted to believe because ñu ngi bëgg a wax ne jàpp nañ Talib jàpp nañ ko in some illegal or corruption activity.
Wow, they try to find
léegi bu
fault.
gaay yi dooree di all witness yi so waxee ne mayo lii mayo la ñu ne la ok inil evidence nga ne no awma evidence dama ko dee dégga and then they started getting disappointed.
Yeah.
Xam nga to a point where they were like wow so all of these were tuumal allegations rumors so desperation boobu moo tax gars yi di wax ne léegi lan lañ war a pinpoint then they started looking for basically irrelevant things so by hell commission of KMC it took almost 4 months. It was longer than any council. All the councils took 2 weeks, 1 month, and most 2 months. KMC got a new door, I think, end of September, October, November, December, January, February, almost 5 months.
Wow,
Because you know a reason they set up the commission. So desperation, Bobo Nagmota, they started looking for Hamga. They started looking
somebody said, I
random
think on a
things,
Kiwa Sobe,
yeah.
you have to sign up with DHL. Harama read comment on me, you have to sign up with DHL if you want to use them for pickup from the embassy. Your team wasn't well informed.
Right. So in 20 Canadian mom, we know that during that time there was no service.
Yeah.
Because it was in 2020.
was
Because Bobo
happening
that was one of my first things. Like that DHL munuñ ko ini. Gis nga man buma ñëw office I was a cost-cutting mayor. I am one government official. I never used the parks that were left behind by the former mayor. So I can give an example. So on your way to fuel, monthly vehicle allocation was $11,250 per week when I came in as mayor. $250. That Lola Feka was the fuel that was given to
Lola
the former
previous mayor. We don't allocate Bopa.
Lola don't allocate. So when I joined fuel coupons the first week, I was like, what is this for? They said, oh, it's your fuel coupons for the week. I was like, for what? Where am I going? But man su ma nekk 11,250. Deputy mayor dafa nekk around 9,000. CEO dafa nekk around 8,000. So ma gis lu dee xew. So bu ma leen laajee ma ne leen but why was this so unreasonably high? ñu ne xam nga yéen politician ngeen. People dañ leen dee ñaan coupon. So in my first week, the first action I did is cut my coupon down to 5,000 from 11,250. That forced everybody else to go down.
Because you set the tone.
I set the tone.
Good.
Okay. Good. When I came in, I was offered a vehicle. No, I can't buy a vehicle. And former vehicle mayor bi Yankuba Koli, mu don drive a Land Cruiser. Jox leen ko deputy mayor because deputy mayor amul personal car.
Wow.
So I was using my personal car for 6 months.
6 months. Wow.
6 months. Pour bañ a jënd a vehicle, right? Because my priority was how do we pay all these liabilities they left behind? How do we deliver on our promises? Because one of the liabilities we found was there was a lot of hotel bills. Guests staying at random hotels. Political guests. Another bill was we owed Mbowin Clinic $4 million for unpaid medical bills for staff.
Wow.
Then we had a $7 million overdraft in the account. So these were, it was unreasonable for manma warajina any motor. And I had a private car, which I believe was very nice. It was a $4 million car that I used in my campaign. So after After 6 months, they bought me a Nissan Patrol that cost about $5 million. But Nissan Patrol bi ñëwee Sehu, I went home. I
Mbadu
couldn't sleep.
boobu la Sidi Ndiaye di wax ne yow ñaata nga spend si sa moto. Mbadu boobu la.
Sidi was just doing propaganda to see if it will stick. Gis nga moto boobu $5 million in Nissan Patrol. I
Wow.
went home with it one night. Munuma nelaw.
Mhm.
The next morning, I asked them to return it back to Shebe Madi.
Okay.
So ñu ne ma waaye ma ne leen I can't because ñun amuñ moto mbalit. How can I be driving a $5 million car?
Good. Yeah.
So buñ ko delloo Shebe Madi, they brought a car for $2.4 million. Boobu laa dee dawal to date. 7
Okay.
years.
Wow.
7 years, boobu laa dee dawal to date. So
That's
I was
common.
offered to buy a car after my re-election. I refused it.
You refuse your turn.
So ma ne leen jënd leen.
You know what he did? Why?
Exactly.
But politics.
So gis nga
Leadership
so just
movement.
su ma mënee laan fee na rek gis nga fuel bi rek.
Yeah.
That 6,250 I refused to take.
Yeah.
I did a calculation. That 6,250 would have been about $25,000 every month. Would have turned out to be $350,000 every year. Would have turned out to be almost $2.5 million for 5 years in my first
That's
term.
why you save
If I'm interested in money, I will just take that coupon and sell it.
And sell
You
it,
know,
yeah.
rather than the good things I am doing, guy pare wuñ ko wax.
Leadership moment, no, Lord Mayor. It comes with
I guess the politics.
It comes with the territory. Why? There's a comment here because I just want to be balanced. There's a comment here which also spoke good of you. Jasi said, I wish Gambians know what is happening at council before and now. Then we will beg Talib to stay. I'm at one of the revenue department, and you don't even dare to tamper with the receipts now, and you'll have to go to the audit almost on daily basis, unlike before with your cash book. So you have done a lot of control there.
We've changed a lot, Sadie, and we have fired almost 28 staff on fraud and corruption.
Wow, that's highly commendable.
28 staff in my time in office. I'm gonna find a staff. His name is Lamin Kamara. So everybody knew him to be Smagwell. So he was formerly APRC. He switched eventually. Minimum league bokatot politics because we try to discourage that. Dunya buga swing staff sees they engage in politics. When the down we did not victimize anybody as far as you're doing your work. On the nyeb de one the sma gewel.
Okay.
What happened was he was alleged to be involved in some corruption.
Okay.
So I had him investigated. He tried to see me. I refused for mujisma.
Yeah.
So that made him very angry and very disappointed because I'm a Gambian concept. So if they allege me, he should protect me. He should protect me. So man, as far as you're doing your work and you're clean, because ligay ba ñu bolé. So legi buñ ko doré di investigate, try to reach out. I blocked entry, nangu mako gis, until he was declared he was clean.
Yeah.
Once he was declared he was clean, then a day dafa ñëw small office. Mi ne ma mayor, billahi wala tala ko buga xam ndax yow you are a clean guy. I am the example. Because I am your biggest ally, and you still investigated me.
Yeah.
You know, so basically, Nyun is something that we don't encourage. Right now, I am investigating a case. Tere Manowaha policy. Right now, as we speak. Tere Mangijo instruction. There's a reported possible fraud that they've detected. I've asked them to investigate. So it's something that we don't tolerate at the council if we know it.
Well, Adam and Mune, firing them is not enough. What would you say to that? Just firing
so
them.
let me give you an example. Last year, we detected our Mbali tickets. There was $1.2 million stolen, missing. It started as a missing, underreported. Audit query, Moko unveiled, internal auditor. Council resolved for an investigation to be conducted. We found 6 licensed officers who were part of that fraud.
Yeah.
New inland disciplinary hearing, all of them admitted to that fraud. We have written to the local, the name placed on the administrative leave with salary. We have written to the local government service commission. It's almost been 8 months. Guy action, and these people are still receiving salary and staying at home.
But you've done the needful by reporting them to the local.
Exactly.
So for the Adam
So ñun foofu la suñ
yeah.
doole am xam nga.
It's
like with Senabu, we put her on leave and reported her. So
yeah, Mamadou Njai, I will open the lines on TikTok. Man, a few questions I like to I'll save your question. You can join through TikTok and ask your questions. Yeah, don't worry. Lord Mayor, there is another contentious issue. Bobuga Leral still put into this commission. You know, allegedly you're accused of nepotism. Renew contract. Somebody come is a family member. I don't know the name of this lady.
Auntie Adam.
That's another issue. So I have to just ask these questions. So, yow lutanga renew kuku contract so gañu mun nga leral fofu because that's also guiding a lot. One of the things that criticize you.
It's desperation. So Auntie Adama has been working in KMC since 1988. When I was 2 years old. But Auntie Adama did KMC. Liggéey na KMC under Keba Jallow PPP. Liggéey na KMC under APRC regime. Liggéey na KMC under our time. I found her there. She's the oldest staff member at KMC. Secondly, mom am institutional memory can amuko. Thirdly, she's the rates manager, our biggest revenue source at the time. So what happened was when our staff is reaching retirement age, I'm no option for contract renewal for up to 6 years allowed by law.
Yeah.
And the person doing that is not the mayor. Already I said, I don't have executive power.
Yeah.
KMC dafa am what we call an appointments and establishment committee. They recommend to the council as a body. Council be that they vote. So on the first year, it was well, and the Adama cannot leave because KMC amut software, amut systems. So leave her right now will be crippled because everything she knows about rates is institutional memory. So this is how KMC was run. So they gave her initial 2-year renewal on her contract. This is the director of finance, more recommend to the appointments establishment committee, who recommends to the council, who votes on the matter. So her contract was renewed again for another 2 years and renewed again for the final 2 years and the to council. By the time commission of inquiry started, her contract had ended and she was on Parena council. So is the desperation of how do we tint and all these big man never for by now then you want such an 10 million or such an 20 million and or something like that. Because during the campaign, that's what they were saying. And man, I always told them, they used to get angry, sir, because as a government, you have knowledge that opposition mayor has stolen money. I don't think you should be going to the radio station. I think you should be arresting that mayor.
Arresting you, police. You
should be arresting and prosecuting me. Don't let them radio. So they get very angry. I am arrogant.
Well, I would you be able to tell us roughly they collect revenue annually?
So 2025 was our biggest revenue year at 400 million with grants included.
Okay.
It grants included. But net revenue in terms of local taxes is close to 300 million net revenue.
Wow.
When I came to KMC, it was at 111 million.
So you from 111 million now to 400. That's tremendous improvement. That's
with grant income 400 million. With net revenue about 300 million.
Wow, that shows you have done a lot of improvement in terms of revenue collection.
Huge
improvement. That's tremendous improvement. Tungo
Ibrahim.
I'm a busy man.
That's right.
Why, Lord Mayor, another thing is they said another thing is people always they go at the elected official. But do you have any constraints in terms of revenue collection? Then they face and rates.
Huge. It's the biggest constraint.
Because it is always easy. People know, we are paying our rates. We get facing Lampo, we don't have. But is this not also the other side where other people are not even paying their rates? Because most of them 70% don't pay their rates.
No.
You're not the leader.
So our rates compliance is 30%. We have the data.
That's very poor. So how do you try to avoid that? It's very,
so
very
what
poor.
happens actually? So you say that much revenue is institutional people they pay. So institutions their compliance is next to 95%. More
So while
factory
ordinary
businesses,
residents with all
but
this
ordinary
work
residents
there,
is 30%.
in the collection bali they get 30% rec
30%, 30%, 30%. And a lot of them,
legally they want
it's
TikTok
on,
Republic.
a lot
So
of them
I
is
think
on valued properties. Nangagis
wow.
multimillionaire, let's say $30 million house, $20 million house, me 1,005, 2,000.
Why Lord Mayor, how do you try to change that? Because ñun fee, for
Yeah,
example, yow xam nga UK fee,
yeah,
nguur gi du caaxaan council tax. Dafa
yeah.
amoon benn incident, how many you can remember? Most people in the UK will remember. Dafa am benn maire bu màgget, old age pensioner. Mu am council tax areas. Guy bu ko yóbbu jail because of that. Balaluñ ko with her at her age. Because fee there is zero tolerance on council tax. They don't compromise on that. Mun nga bañ a fay other things, right? Council tax mom. Council doesn't joke with that. So kooku dañ ko yóbbu xamanda mayor dafa freeze nag dafa freeze balalem ma mayor dafa freeze internet bi la, but I think we are doing a good job. Maybe dina ñëwaat. I will try to yéen a ngay déglu suma interview ak Lord Mayor Talib Bensouda. There's internet issue between here London and Banjul. Hopefully he will come back again. So there was a case here. I was in Bena Jigen guy. So there was one rich person here who called it down low. Mufe kokonon council tax. Because council then go yobu court ñu den go yobu. So that shows the gravity here in Dedonga. But ndekete Gambians yi ñu ngi wax blame suñu elected leaders yi ndekete ñu bari ñu dé fay seen rate si. So lolu tamit nañ leen ko wax nak wax leen waay gaay ñu fay seen rate. Don't may yeah internet bi mo dem but okay. Mbadu kuram bi mo dem.
No. I received a direct call.
Oh, direct call. Okay. Lolota. So, lumado what? Dama don joxe scenario in the UK. Then a mayor, old age pensioner, mo baña fay council tax fee. Xam nga fii soo fay council tax duñ la balal fii moom angale soo fay council tax mun nañ la balal lu nekk waaye council tax moom duñ ko dee caaxaani. So jigéen boobu noonu maire tubaab la si was old. So mu ne maire bi mu insist mu ne moom at her age du fay council tax. So gaa yóbbu ko court war ko sentence. Why somebody called the council mu ne moom dafa fail ndaw si loolu tax ndaw si demut prison yóbbuñ ko de waaye council balaluñ ko. So why lu tax ma indi this point ndekete ñun because dama dee dem si plateforme yu bari seen wax bi mooy ne nit yi ñu ngi fay seen rate si gaay nekk si collègue loolu tax is very important ne ñu wax nit yi tamit ñu fay seen lempo yi. I think that's also important.
So our biggest problem, like I said, mooy nguur gi valuation bi is a problem.
Yeah.
The second problem, like I said, HR control.
Yeah.
The right staff with the right capacity who you can manage and control to ensure they are making sure people are collecting.
Yeah.
The third issue mooy the enforcement side. The courts are overwhelmed. Léegi-léegi nga indi nit si court bi sax magistrate bi baalal ko o jox ko payment plan bu nga xam ne sax it's so lenient. Waaw bu nga xam ne so lenient bu nga xam ne people don't take the council tax very seriously anymore. Wow, one day Gambia, Gambia needs a total overhaul. Judiciary should be strengthened and resourced.
Yeah.
Case load is high. They don't have enough magistrates. They don't have enough capacity. The technology they use is outdated. So joge fofu on the court side, when you see municipal staff, a lot of them are not highly productive because liggéey dara du si génn ñaaka liggéey dara du si génn. Then nga ñëw si government bi in terms of the valuation role. So there needs to be a total overhaul of the entire system in Gambia. But the number one is you need to give councils the autonomy. Nga jox mayors executive control. Man suma amoon executive control tey. Man, I'll be a different human being. So it's a lot of the character you have in your leadership is because of the circumstance you're surrounded by. Wow. So if we had executive control,
please, I'll call direct because I'm using my phone. I will open the lines in 2 or 3 minutes. Baro must go. I'm not. Somebody said they have asked a question. Amanda Jukalanda Hadikinde. You said I cannot find your question, but sa nit ki mu ne Freda Gomez tam mo fi mu ne bu ma la sonal mu ne kenn du dee laal suñu mayor. So Baro must go. I didn't see your question. If you can just reframe it again. Well, I'm just trying to check. But Lord Mayor, man, for Lumala Bora Lache, I will just leave the rest to the audience because I'm sure they have a lot of questions. So, Legi, you book a TikTok moderators. You can bring them. You guys ask your questions on platform. So all those people who want to ask questions, I've seen the list here. Let me just accept them. Then I'll give you guys 2 minutes each. Let's not make it that long. Amodunja is here. So let's just go. I will take it. So let's just a question. Let's start with Bambas. Go ahead, please. Bambas. Okay, and again, I want to make an announcement. If you're coming, please don't bring noise. Don't bring noise. Mute yourself. Melni noise can allow for a mute. You mean go allow for a mute. Why Bambas Monja Dugare? Okay. Bambas, go ahead, and then we'll go through the list. Okay, Bambas is muted. Let's go to Buba Gaza.
Allow someone.
Yeah. Let's go. Buba Gaza, you go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, Mayor. Nunala, nge kontong bake. Man, lumo bugona lache mwene. KMC, luta amun kom kaina. Nakala ko muna wahe comme school métier bo xamne
skill center
skill center bo xamne ñom ñole empower pour nga xamne ñom suñu paré skill center bi rek dañu liggéey council automatically when it come to roads, welding, different kind of stuff that
Okay, Mayor, I don't know how we do this. Do you want to take 2 or 3 and answer, or you one by one? What do you prefer?
I can take 2 or 3.
Okay, that's one question. So Buba, your question is asked. Your legi munga wacha. Momodu Ali Unjai, please.
Boy, man, my question be bad, dina munati
boy. No, man.
Why you like a loaded question? Then so like a loaded question. Move on to Nyari, you know, before we go to the next caller.
Okay, unfortunately, because I'm on TikTok now. But
Monsi, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook.
You know, as you know, man, I went to school with Sidi Bensouda, and
really?
To him as a brother.
Why
you not get him because when you were first running as mayor, you know, when I supported Bakari because I was in the US, because I felt like he had the experience. I'm for the UDP, and maybe it would be politicized. Why just one and you have done tremendously well, and we're applauding that when it came to KMC Senbalit situation. Now we have libraries and all this. Why Buguma Budal Wahbi? Why Lumala Bugal like Moy? Everybody looks up to you as an aspiring candidate. Digala, from Nekatolu situation, but coalition rek muna in the change in 2026. We feel like ne leader, Moy Njiti come like Honorable Dabo. He has sacrificed a lot for this country. Then I appreciate the way that you've been handling the situation. You know, you're not temperament, yangi dal, yangi ligay. But this, you know, how he handled the situation, it was handled very poorly. And I'm glad that people like Sehu Seidibi and other people recognize what the Giala, Njit Boko Ame, Sakat Kilifa, Amna Ninga Wahemom, Benga Amlinga Bugaam. So, Limana Bugala, see, first question, the Moy. What is the way forward? Yo, sister Jis, Aklinga Jota, Dajante, Hamne, Nguri Adama Barobi. Unfortunately, they have failed Gambians for the most part. And Digalane, we still have these elders as swing kilifai, Ninga Hamne Nyonyo Tete. waaye yéen mooy Yankuba Dabo muy Rohey Malick Lowe UDP wane nañ ne am nañ ñu bari ñu nekk si gannaaw honorable Dabo ñu mun a yóbbu réew mi kanam yow lan mooy sa gis-gis on the way forward to 2026 when it comes to a coalition? Do we have to go by the way we did it in 2016? Or do we have to find a unique way? Because UDP then process of how they choose their leaders. So I'm trying to make it very easy for you. I'm not trying to set you up. I mean well.
Are you guilty? Are you guilty?
No, I'm not guilty. I mean well because I support him. You're a candidate I've been calling for. And the second question is, should they, let's say, I'm not telling you to tell us whether you run or not because that's within UDP. Do you think that those that are outside of UDP have a role to play to say any money? Candidate nangam because based on statistics, this candidate B saka yo kumelni they attract other they attract voters from different political parties. Te gum nañ kumelni yo war nga mëna pull votes. So what do you say about that? So I'll mute and then go on Facebook. Mom just a reaction.
Wow, thank you, Mamadou Njai. Lord Mayor, I think you can take those two questions and then we can go to the other person. Thank you, Mamadou Njai. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So I'll first answer Buba about the skill center. Wow. So KMC Amna Skill Center at Bakote, it's actually a very well equipped skill center. However, its primary focus more on tailoring. So it has all the latest machines. It has several sewing machines. I'm not embroidery machine. I'm not even those ancient weaving machines. And we do train hundreds of students every year. I'm not also 8 community centers. 8 community centers, we largely leave it to the management of the WDCs, although a lot of them have not really been engaged by the community. But now we're going to have a skill center that trains people on carpentry and metalworks and other things that will eventually find them employment within KMC. No, Amango Lolo. What we are working on currently, how do we have an arts, culture, tourism center that trains young people to create tourism businesses, so to incubate tourism businesses. Bobo, we're actually working on the concept and we actually just applied for grant funding for it. And our first target is to train 70 young people. Each of them, so in Paris and training, we plan to give them a package of roughly about $5,000 when you start. So we'll let you know if that grant succeeds. In our library, Bunja Sampa, we have an innovation hub and repair cafe. Bunga has all the tools and equipment. Bobo actually has a training program for young people interested in mostly IT and mechanic works, basically. So Bobo Mom exists in the league, so in library Bunjas Ubi. Our library is quite dynamic and interesting. So I'm the innovation hub and repair cafe. So I hope that answers your question. Now to come to Momodunja, a very loaded question, multifaceted. At first, I'm not ragal for some question. You want to build expertise on it somehow. Wow, one day I think in terms of 2026, learn more Munahel. I think it's quite a variety of things could happen. There's no magic pill. Ken Hamutam, politics are fluid. Many things can change very quickly. And dynamics in Noko Halate League will be very different by the time 2026 comes. But just as politicians, just using common sense and some experience. The first is UDP leadership and coalition, we are not the same. I think that should be separated. UDP on the internal process. Definitely, as far as the flag bearer for presidency, Bobo has not really been very what do you call it, complex for a very long time. I would been complexity fufu, likely because Hussein Dabo was the only available candidate for a very long time. So my only available, I don't think anybody was interested. There was just simply no interest. the time he even stepped back and asked, who can more I'm interested, step forward. Nobody was interested because it was
Yeah.
there was a lot of fear. So it was like I said, there was no availability of options, so more knew all the time. And I'm sure many a times, not gonna lie, sir, many of the times he didn't want to stand, but he couldn't stop the fight because he was fighting for a greater cause. Now that there's peace, I guess, freedoms that he largely was responsible for. I guess now there's people saying, okay, now nañ change, and lol jamalatam. So I guess this is what the fight we were wanting. For Gambia and democracy, but UDP am na internal process to choose leadership. I think it would not be mature. Sorry, it would be premature to preempt it. I think process B has happened in the past without much complexity. I don't think there will be much complexity going forward. Now, in terms of what sort of political situation mo muna gini president bi, it's hotly debated. I was just at a debate 2 days ago. And coalition is needed, coalition is not needed. The fact that's on opinions. My opinion is that Gambia, a lot of the politics is based on sentiment and not on fact. And I think all around the world, any decabo hall, when you have understand politics, people do polling. So polling is a healthy part of politics. I
Yeah.
think my opinion has always been let's poll, know what the sizes of parties are from the incumbency down.
Yeah.
Let's get data. Let's work on data. Let's
Yeah.
know who are the registered voters and who are they likely to vote for.
Yeah.
Whether the registered voters are registered legally or illegally, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm not in card.
Yeah.
Who can stop them? It's very difficult. But if we know where they're likely to vote for, that can determine party size and what kind of arrangement and political dispensation can remove the incumbent. So rather than kuneka talk one or coalition rek mo muna gene president, ñeneen no bena party muna ko gene, Barrow is no longer popular. We should be working on data and not sentiment and emotions. See
True.
meeting bobo
True.
sa, I'm not go for one. I drive everywhere and everybody's tired. Everybody wants Barrow gone. But wallahi billahi, in 2011, I had the same comment said by somebody about Yaya Jammeh, and Yaya Jammeh won.
Yeah, Jamie
In
one. Yeah.
2011, somebody told me there's no way Ajame can win this election. For Dawal Sidekabi, people are tired of Ajame. In
Yeah.
2021, some people were saying this about Barrow.
Barrow. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
True.
So, farrella, like politics farrella, it's like football team. Ki dafa
Yeah.
tok ne Arsenal mo mun kalimine, and one day you'll never know until they play. But the difference, I guess, in politics, you can sort of poll, you can sort of get very close accuracy to what people are thinking if you do effective polling. And there are pollsters in the country right now who really know what they're doing. Because Sohole 2021, Sepras predicted the election a certain way, it went down that way.
Yeah.
In 2023, during swing mayoral, all these seats they said UDP would win, we won.
You won.
All these seats they said Barrow would win, he won. Man, then you answer my percentage be correctly, sir. They said I
Oh,
was going to
really?
win by, yeah, they said I was going to win by 53%. I won by 54%.
Wow. That was.
So
Yeah.
why should
No. So
we,
far, so far, since Sovoy have passed the test of time. So
yeah,
far.
so why should we debate
Yeah.
on what sort of dispensation if we don't have a data? Now, the final question me, whether outsiders of UDP should have a say as to what they think UDP should do. Probably answered this question one day. I mean, look, it's democracy. That is,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong. Need opinion about what
Exactly.
they think the party would do. But what would
Absolutely.
be wrong is trying to tell the party what they should do.
That's
I
it.
think
The same answer
more
like I just said, sir.
feel more difference. So
Yeah. Yeah.
dafa mel ni man ma toog am opinion lan moo mun a xew sa kër ma ne la
Yeah.
seewu fan naa sa kër sa xale yi soo leen defee nii nga def ne le I think that would really help your family and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Di nga ma déglu. Wante if I say seewu da nga waree yar sa doom da nga ko war a dóor da nga ko war a
Absolutely.
that would
I
anger
think
you
all
and
you
you
guys
say
got it now. Yeah.
you will say mind your business, right? So basically I think approach be sometimes is what creates the offense or the the tension. There's absolutely nothing wrong with people having opinions. At the end of the day, UDP is a Gambian party, and it's for Gambians, and we are trying to win the hearts of Gambians, and we are trying to work for Gambians.
Okay,
So
I just want
yeah.
to make a comment here. I cannot guarantee I'll be able to ask all the questions. There are tons of questions coming on Facebook, and also I have got 6 people waiting on TikTok. So I do apologize. If I want to focus on your questions on Facebook, the people are on TikTok will not be able to answer. I just want to make that comment. And again, Juka Sise, Baro must go. I'm not the only one who couldn't see your comment. Even Aji Bugachon, Tamit Mule, where's your comments? Can you rewrite the question again? Because none of us is able to see the question. You said na aji wax ma question bi aji mënul ko gis man mënuma ko gis. And people who are calling me direct number, don't call my direct number because I'm broadcasting on TikTok with this. So if you do that, you interrupt the broadcast. So let's go to Domi Rew. Borom Sobea. Fay nañ la.
Okay, I have more than 2 questions.
Rajal benn rek ñu bari ñu ngi xaar.
Benn mooy mayor mu ngi wax ci affaire liggéeyam bu rëy bu def ci KMC.
Waaw.
bi mu toogee ba léegi ok gis nañ mu ngi wax yu baax yi mu fa def. But also ñun itam li tax ñu ñëw mooy yi nga xamante ne bëggoon nañ mu def ko fa te defu ko fa. moom la ñuy laaj. So man dama gis lack of communication between moom ak the CEO ak the council and the approval committee. They fail to follow the procurement and the regulation bi nga xamante ne moom la leen loo bi jox pour ñu war see jaar liggéey. But dañ lay gis ci inquiry bi mu ñëwee dañ lay gis council yoo xamante ne ni they will just sign a contract by going out there and grab a handyman who can fix the situation and ni fay ko xaalis without following the process. Te lu warta demee noonu may laaj Talib bu fekkee ne moom mu ngi amee KMC council bi ñoom dañuy mun nañoo génn uti ku lay neex mu ñëw defaral leen kama yi di seen council mooy dem jëli xaalis pour fay kii ñëw contract bi te council bi war a am buñ amee lu ñu war a defar ñoom dañu war a ñëw am nañ fi spécial committee boo xam ne ñoo leen di approve ñoom bu fekkee ne defuñ loolu jaaruñ foofu Talib ma jox la benn exemple Bojang si diggante maire Talib ak Seynabou Martin Karamo Bojang amoon na bill bu mu indi contract boo xamante ne
Kemo Bojang
Kemo Bojang ngay wax Kemo Bojang
right so amoon na contract bu mu initié boo xamante ne ni ok I don't know regarding contract la wala fund bu mu doon jéem a dajale regarding the youth or the handy people mu ñëw te moom xaalis warta jaar ci fekkee council la xaalis warta jaar ci loxoom ba dafa ñëw ci Seynabou Martin te Seynabou Martin according to her mooy ne Talib know about it and Talib also he say was to approve just by verbally but not saying why that money should be out. Te li may wax ni itam nee na Federal Gomez is close to Talib. She also frustrated about the situation bi nga xamante ne mu ngi dem KMC dégg naa ko ay yoon mu ngi frustrated about it lack of following the procurement and the regulation bi nga xamante ne loo bi moom la jàpp mu ngi mel ni even Talib moom mu toog foofu di wax sax lii dem ci KMC bi most likely lu bëri xamu ko wala xam na ko mu ngi ci teg tànkam beneen bi mooy passeport bi yaa ngi ko si laaj na monsieur tontu dañ ko laaj ndax dafa yónni driver mi ba pare jël flight teg topp si wala def na loolu wala deful loolu waaye waxul loolu moom lim ci tontu mooy tiri boo xam ne 40,000 to 45,000 lay cost te government baa ngay jël ministre yi da lay yóbbu outside ñuy spend more money than that so moom loolu la tontu ma bëgg mu ñëw direct ndax moom bi mu yónnee driver mi ñu jëlalee ko passeport bi after moom fekki na gars yi foofu su fekkee ne fekki na leen fa ndax gars yi dañ fanaan foofu fayeku padiyom wala fayekuñ padiyom loolu lañ gënoon naa rek thank you guys
yaa ngi gis démocratie bi nekk UDP jërëjëf doomu réew thank you na la tontu thank you
wow I think first of all this is my first time on TikTok live so maa ngi dégg ngeen ko wax so that's a nice thing Second of all, I really like the platform this time because you have diverse group. Yeah. So one end UDP is the Democratic Party. Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me come to the first answer. Procurement is handled by Ulunyo Oya Contracts Committee. So procurement nyarla. Procurement below $500,000 can be done by the CEO. And Bobo, contract committee bi or council bi jarul ñu am si baat. Because procurement rules of the Gambia and the Procurement Act allow any procurement below 500,000 to be done without a tender. So what they should follow more generally procurement rules. Mooy nga am 3 different opinions. Then nga soga jëna lan nga jëna. Now fu CEO bi waxee ne Talib xam na si dara. I think loolu tuumee la like. Because you're chief executive officer. Yow da nga war a xam sa liggéey. Yow yaa nekk in charge of the accounts and the checkbooks. Man mayo tey awma access to benn account. Lu ma soxlaa xam foog ma laaj request pour mu ñëw suma table. Loo ma indiloo duma ko xam. That's why I said suma starting bi su naka la bro bi tudda.
Doomi réew. Su doomi réew remember ma ne mayors should be executives. Because tey su fekkoon ne man I am elected to manage the resources of the council dama war a xam on a day-to-day basis yan transactions ñoo war a daw and I should be in a position to approve them. Wante su fekkee ne loolu is being handled by an officer other than myself ko nga xam ne man joxuma ko liggéey mënuma ko daaxa it will be very difficult pour ma am control. So man essentially I am reduced to being a chairman of the council. Council lum am mooy different committees. So su fekkee ne dafa am procurement above 500,000. Boobu dafa war a dem to what we call the contracts committee. Contracts committee boobu mooy def the tender process bi ñëw council for approval. After approval mu dem GPPA Gambia Public Procurement Authority for final approval before we can go ahead. Now of course system is not perfect. When the KMC above all of the other institutions and all of the other councils, we got a 70% rating from GPPA. In my knowledge, amul dara lu nga xam ne open na 500,000 bu nga xam ne du dee ñëw council ba pare du dee dem GPPA. Now in the situation of Kemo Bojang lu mu fa explain loolu nu mu fa demee ñun tam si commission bi lañ ko jàngee. When the person who was doing the transaction is the CEO. So CEO bi mënut a blame kenn gannaaw boppam moom su fekkee ne council ñëw na mu ne ko dama bëgg a def this project CEO yëpp xam nañ every single person in council xam na ne that process should be done by the procurement manager. Wante gis nga comme nu ma la waxee that amount is below $500,000. So su nekkee below $500,000 moom su ko indiwut to anybody's attention kenn du ko xam. So Momo am na her remit, the CEO's remit.
Because it's within her discretion.
Okay.
Wow. So more than they want, the CEO is the accounting officer of council. Understand nga? So any finance public accounts committee, CEO more responsible. More they talk the uyu, mayor of they observe. Because at the end of the day, that's why the law says the CEO is the chief accounting officer of the council and responsible for the finances of the council. More than ñun as elected officers, amuñ access and waruñoo am access as per the law. Man, what I advocate for more in a mayors ñoo waroon nekk the CEO. And if we choose, we can hire a city manager or a CEO. So if you're tey elect nañ la mayor and you feel that you're not equipped or you don't have the capacity, war nga muna am that option. Wante mënuloo ma hold accountable and I don't have control. So this is where the disparity comes. Now on his issue of travel bi, lu tax mënuma ñëw specifically. Man dafa am 2 things that are happening and Nene mi ngi seetaan, she's even witness to one of them. I had an official trip to Senegal last year. Bu nga xam ne city of Parcelles Assainies moo ñu invite for a twinning relationship. On the trip bi, I did not want to limit it just to council duties. Dama bëggoon a dem through also politics with Pastef. Because ñu ngi am political sort of relationship. The whole trip dama tukki ak 4 councillors. Nene was part of that delegation. And 3 National Assembly members. It was 100% funded by myself.
Okay, interesting.
Understand? It was 100%, and Nene is a witness.
It's a post bila joge.
Suma post la joge. All of them, man malen fayal ñom yépp ñun ñu tukki ñu ñëw. Because dama xamone ne suma tukkee and it's part official and part politics, it would not be fair pour council bi fay ko.
Yeah, that's true.
Now to his question, man am na time yu nga xamne fair na suma bopa jël flight man ma dem Sénégal. Where suma driver mid ma fa wonte man ma fay suma flight. Because li xew I'm not tardé on a issue. I'm nga mayor, you're doing so many things at the same time. So I'm not tardé on a particular issue at the council. Man leen jitu leen ma man na leen fa fekk. Man ma face my own flight, man ma fekk leen fa.
Wow.
I think the flight was like $18,000 return ticket.
Nga fay ko si sa pocket.
Ma fay ko sama pocket, ma fekk leen fa. So moo tax the exact xam nga tuumal yi bu mu jógee si commission bi. Foog ma xam the exact scenario and where are the vouchers for that scenario. Pour ma mun a tontu authoritatively. Wante su fekkee ne dama bëgg a tontu naaw xaw ma ban incident la ñoo rifaatu comme nu ma la ko waxee CD.
No, mu ne affaire yi lifin bi affaire yi that thing that came to the out in the scandal bu nga yónni sa driver bi Canadian visa bi ñu ngi la accuse ne yow after yow sa boppa da nga dem foofu noonu after bu nga yónni sa driver bi ak guy yow sa boppa you went there loolu la doon ñoom that's the allegation.
Wow, so that specific scenario man fa naa yónni bi man what I remember yónni bi lañ doon wax ne dama yónni PR bi.
man sa loolu laa dégg si social media waaye lii doomi réew si plateforme am ñoom ñoo indi this allegation ne dañ dégg ne yow after nga ku call yow da nga dem.
Wow, so basically lu ma wax mooy ne I must see the voucher before I can authoritatively tontu. Wante sometimes because of time constraints I take a flight pour ma dem Sénégal.
Okay.
Understand nga wante the actual amount man bu ma remember I paid out of pocket.
Okay.
Man I am a person bu nga xam ne I don't like using council funds unjustifiably.
Thank you.
I know maybe this is not part of his question. One day I'm not time bu nga xam ne man bu ma ñëwee council so tukki they pay you per diem and they pay you impress.
Yeah.
Dañ la fay per diem and they give you $1,000 impress.
Impress, yeah.
After your per diem. So loolu man maa ko génnee council man maa ko jëkk a reject. Ma ne a per diem is the same as should cover all your bills while you're there.
Government officials dañ di am impress.
They do that. They do both per diem and impress. Loolu amut KMC and maa ko génnee.
Wow.
So basically, I guess to answer his question, all these allegations, you know, at the commission, it will be very irresponsible for Matonduko now without seeing exactly what vouchers, exactly what paperwork. One thing I can tell you with authority, all of these amounts are below $100,000. One. Number two, they are for official missions. Number three, as far as procedure is concerned, we have budgeted a travel budget. And as far as is within the limits of the CEO, at the end of the day, the make a question of morality, but not on legality. So the issue is, okay, it's legal, it's true. But is there a way you could have saved that funds? And I think feel the concern within you. One thing I can assure you, more in every situation like that, I have done my best to make sure I conserve council funds to the point of paying out of pocket. Put them certain trips so it's for convenience, or so it's not purely official. I'm not politics or personal.
Okay, why internet vitamin na bay li nak internet bi demaat na lool mais bi dem na why li su fi emon sa mo ne legi harabe ma degati ni TikTok doomi rew jégg nga sa tontu bi ñun UDP ñun bokkuñ ci yefin juuj njaay yi lool mais bi mu ne trips yi yam na yeneen yi suy dem moom moo dee fay own ticket waaye gars yi ñu dee wax loolu de duñu wax di good side te neene mu ngi nii di dëgëral loolu lii moo tax ma indi Lord Mayor fii all the UDP officials dañu war a ñëw Bantaba ñëw TikTok ñu feetal over 1,000 people are watching this platform 802 watching us on YouTube and TikTok is 222 this is 1K boo ko suñu nekk si palanteer bi affaire bi leer na nañ so lu ma leen bëgg a leeral mooy questions yep munuma lache questions there are too many. Somebody is asking one particular question lolu dina ko lache later because that's of interest to a lot of people. Why Mawaki Tamit Nene Freda Gomez, I've sent you the link via your TikTok, your WhatsApp. If you check your WhatsApp, Send it to Juka because Juka is a Duka V. Send ko bako mo Duka si video with Facebook if she can the link for the broadcast link. Mom rekla ko yoni. Dumako yoni domi rewde. Mom sunyu MPP la. Dumako ko yoni. So Juka said you can join us through video and ask your questions to the mail. Legi, let's go to Aji Buga Chon. Hey, Koko UDP la. UDP new feed. Aji, welcome to Bantaba.
Assalamualaikum Seymour.
Nuyu naa la.
Naa ngeen def nuyu naa leen yéen ñëpp di nuyu mayor bi Talib.
Waaw.
Seymour am na ñaari question yu ma ko bëgg a laaj digga la UDP la waaye dama fiya parce que nag xam nga ni ma buggee baaba su passé boobu moom Talib laa si teg ñëpp xam nañ ko.
Ok.
Li ma wax mooy dama ko laaj question bi nga xamante ne daf ma xaw a jaaxal si affaire yi mbaliti ñoo saani si mbedd yeeg yooyu. Comme nit ki soo waxee ne yow digga la nit ñi si yow la ñoo fay tax am na ñoo xam ne dañoo fay am na ñoo xam ne duñ fay.
Waaw.
te loolu Gambian si war nañoo mën a daw loolu parce que council bi tam loolu lañ yaakaar pour liggéey. waaye dama bëgg a laaj.
xaaral rek Aji Lord Mayor de dem na off again so foog na internet bi la soo laajte du dégga so nañ xaar ok ñëw na
maa ngi dégg
mu ngi dégg ok
so léegi li ma ko bëgg a laaj mooy su passé man moom personnellement gërëm naa ko gis naa ne li mu def si council bi benn mayor musu ko faa def wante li ma bëgg a xam mooy ndax lu nekk am na solution su fekkee ne malit bi parce que tilim bi moom wax dëgg seeku UDP la waaye duma ko nu baax dafa am ñu bari ñu ko dee complain de keep on complaining and su fekkee ne yaa ngi si paki bi te yow yaa ngi bugg a sa leaders yi ñu deliver yow li nga xamante ne yow loolu nga bugg a pour ñu am ndam ñun UDP yow da nga bugg a pour gars yi def li nga xamante ne loolu la ñu bugg a te man gis naa ne ñoom Talib dañ dee déglu
waaw Talib
de ñoom déglukat lañ ñoom su nit waxee rek dañ dee daw def li nit yi bugg a
waaw
su dem nag nit ñi ñu ngi complain affaire mbalit bi moom wax na ne over 100 people ñu leen employé ñu ngi clean ndax mënuñ ñoo yokka parce que seewu Amérique bi ak Europe bi yow gis nga seen dëkk yi ñoo ëpp ak Gambia téeméeri yoon dangaa gis benn place rek mën naa double KMC 10 times so foofu noonu dafa clean te dëgg la ñooñu de am nañ habit yi duñ sànni si mbedda yi duñ waaye ndax amuñ lu wa daan yu nga xamante ne council bi ñoo leen ko mun a daan teg ay paani mbalit ñu wër di wax nit ne ku gis nit muy saani bu police yi arrest ñu dem teg ko benn
very good point
bu nga xamante ne paani mbalit yi duñ sori wante soo gisee ex citizen mun naa ne ka police soo gisee sa morom mu saani nga jàpp ko dem na nga xeexam moom ñu dem ñu try dëkk bi bu setee rek lu bari dina mun a lifin because seewu set bokk na si number one li nga xam ne mooy taaral dëkk even dëkk bi su rafetut sax mu set dangaa gis ne environnement bi dafa rafet waaye bu dëkk bi rafetee tam mu tilim nit ñi dañoo foog ne amul développement fekk am na développement parce que Talib lim liggéey ñu bari liggéey ñu ko man dama foog ne is high time pour Talib loolu mu liggéey ko gis nga li des si taamam bi yëpp dafa war a concentrate on that mbalit yi di dem di génn si kër nit di dem mbedda yi set waaw ñu try daal mbalit bi dem second question bi mooy dama ko bëgg a laaj Talib dafa am lu njàkkaar ci moom billaay wala tray Talib youth si dañ yaakaar lu rëy ci moom parce que dafa doon nit ku dal doon nit koo xamante ne du tontu waxi kalaw man loolu daf ma si neex Talib dafa dal waaye li ma bëgg a mooy dafa am lu waxoon mu ne moom du taxawaat beneen taam te loolu xaw naa tiital ñu bari séewu parce que élection xam nga lamba la da ngay lambi golo la so yow soo lambee rek mun ngaa lamba nga ñàkk a daj kuy toog 2026 yàlla rek a xam ñun suñu mbébét mooy UDP toog waaw léegi su fekkee safaan dafa ñëw astafurlah yal na bu safaan ba ñëw waaye ñun we cannot afford Talib Bensouda moo jël council bi taxawut UDP ñëw jëlum 2026 seewu Talib war a toog liggéeyut si government ñun youth si nga xamante ne bokk na ñoo moom benn generation ñu gis ko ne moom fan la moo liggéey est-ce que day dem join est-ce que NPP xam naa Talib du fa dem for other 5 years working in the government xam nga seewu loolu dafa am ku ma ko dee laaj mu ne ma Talib ak roxiloo li ñu wax ne duñ demati taam loolu dëgg la dañ ko def
moom do ak kii tamit ak Landing bi saane moom tamit
am xel waaye loolu dafa jaaxal ñu bari moo tax élection bii di ñëw seexu dafa nekka comme ñu ngi mel ni ñu ngi jéggi siraat seexu is crazy xale yi ñu ngi yaakaar Talib lim def KMC mu génn fa keneen ñëw fa xam nga correction bi daal
waaw it's okay Aji dégg nañ la jërëjëf
dina xam nu ma
no I understand ta mayor bi dégg na sa question bi jërëjëf Aji thank you so much It's not UDP. UDP, we are very democratic. She's a big supporter of UDP, Talib. UDP regular buga. Why are you just like a very tough question?
Absolutely.
This is what we need. Thank you. Thank you. Talib, you wanted to answer that or then about Jalad Benen?
Nigel Ben, I'm turn to 2 at a time now.
Okay, Serin, you are next. Serin Keita.
Madrid.
Let someone come.
Okay, Yusufa Dabo. Yusufa.
Assalamu alaikum. Mbalbe kontona. Mangeni Suma Mayor B, People's Mayor, and my own brother Sehu. I have two questions.
Can you make it, Yusufa? Can you make it one, please? Because I'm not trying to control. There are a lot of people waiting.
So you are my very good brother. I have to ask these two questions because it's very important and then it concerns.
Okay.
So it's about Gambia. It's about Gambia. It's not personal. Yeah. One is because just Lord Mayor, the inauguration of 15-kilometer infrastructure within KM, and then they go nanko mungdon wa si jafe bugay to implement that, to make it work. So man luma ko bugal laaj moy ne, is there any legal tools that they can use to execute it? Is there any possibility pour ñom ñu mëna taxaw pour one government dine, this is your responsibility, this is our responsibility, and then it has to be executed. And then two, moine, regarding Sister Bilumo Wahne and everyone is yearning for. So I'm on Nakufi Jarnun. Moi affaire 2026 because we know about Talib Tejarun fa. Hanga so saying they were more coming mutaning fenko dokola ndeka mani dokola ndeka mutaning bulol. Ya faham. So Talib is somebody that it's not about this and that. Ni nyoko buga. It's the call for from the people. The UDP ndebe ku killing fola. That is kunyaka UDP mungi UDP. Ko gis mungi UDP gena ko kuneko UDP. Ko musa gis UDP mugena ko kumusuta neka UDP. Interest moko fataji ak dara. Wa UDP munfa. So nakala nyo muna def benyu am muneka outside. Nyinga hamne. They want to be with us. Why nyom am na kami right. Kuneka danga amsa right, danga amsa opinion. Then you know they want it. We need to bring people together. Bala nyo fay nit di isi nit isi parti bi ma fogg ne ñu jox len ko xamne ñom koku len buga without bribing anyone more gonna easy. They just maybe UDP have 50% and then the other 50% then you gotta scramble at yenen political party at incumbent. So what we want is to bring somebody nga xamne quarter of that 50% koku len buga. You add kosi 50% bu UDP am 75%. Pour ñu mëna and that Talib is ready pour mom si bopam mu encourage some leadership, UDP leadership. One and lead.
But no ma question about jam fakane de.
No, matter long. Is Talib also ready?
Yeah.
Pour mom Talib si bopam, is he ready pour mu neka bena ak ñene yi nga xamne comme Rohi Malik Lo Landing Bisane because ñoo ñu tamit xëna dinañ bëgga taw Yankuba Daw nda bëgga na pour mu am ak ñoom waxtaan ci biir bala ñu dem ci whatever primary what we do internally ndax moom mu ngi work on that because lii dafa important because nit ñi suñ la bëggee ñu óolu la yow tamit dangaa def ite ni Talib working towards that pour mu encourage UDP executive ne this is why I want to, not because of personal, because this is Modu Sabale and the entourage, because they have the mission. They know that Talib is the only person.
Yeah, but Ndoma, I'm sorry, I have to interject. I do apologize, but I have to interject. I think Talib got your gist of your question now, but I also want to appeal to the callers, to maximize the participation of everybody, let's try to minimize our contributions. Let's ask questions, but not comments. I just want to encourage that. Let's minimize comments and just ask questions direct. Under 30 seconds, 1 minute, you ask your question. Because right now I am confused. A lot of people are on the platform. Ask my question. Tunko Marina has just made a comment. So there are 4 or 5 people waiting for Tina. So Mal Danere, please reduce your question, because it's after 10. Talib has been here almost 2 hours now. We know, yes, he's here for the public, but we also have to be cognizant of time. No, question on but I just want to appeal to the other people. Just ask direct questions, okay, and minimize it as well, so that other people can ask too. I just want to make that, so that it's a national discourse. So thank you so much, Lord May. You've asked Yusuf Dabo's question. Ndo malo nga fit sutale kate koku sumarakala Lord am fit ma sumarakala ñeneen ñi du ma leen ñemeñ waaye moom sumarakala so yeah, mun nga tontu ñaari questions yooyu noonu.
Well, so now start ak Aji. First mi ngi laajte fi mbalit bi. So lu ma ko tontu mooy it's very interesting. Bala ñun ñu ñëw into office, KMC was very, very terrible in terms of waste. Like I said, the kër yu fa nekkoon for the most part ñoo fa nekka ba léegi. Kon mbalit bu ñu doon generate for the most part moom la ñoo generate ba léegi. Wante dañu miinal nit ñi, I guess something new, something lu nga xam ne nit moom daf dee gaaw a miin. Dañ leen miinal from their door waste collection. So KMC num setee right now musuta set ni in the history of KMC. Wante what people want is that perfection. And lu bëgg nit ñi wax comme num ko waxee bëgg ñoo gis tilim fen. Wante wax dëgg yàlla council bi has done a lot. Because so xoolee, like I said, from 3 vehicles, 2 tractors, 1 second-hand vehicle, ba léegi ñi nga am 32 waste management trucks. Every day ñi ngi collect 500 tons. Ba pare su bàyyi xelam si biir KMC ñi ngi defar lu ñoo ooyee waste enclosures. ñi ngi def skip bins, 20 of them, in place su nga xam ne were known to be dump sites. Nit ñi dañoo ñëw tuur seen bari day jóoru ko. ñu ngi leen replace ak skip bins, mooy paani weñ yu rëy yooyu na trucks suñu dee lonka yóbbu. Those areas yooyu yëpp are organized waste. ñi ngeen tabax tam 10 waste enclosures. In my time try nañ lu bari, try nañ pour def street bins si tali bi. Su delloo xelam dañ daan jël used tires turn leen into bins. Wante it didn't work. Nit ñi dañoo indi seen mbaliti kër yi di ko tuur si biir bins yi. Léegi-léegi ñu dajale seen mbaliti kër yi around those bins. So instead of muy wàññi littering, daf doon encourage dumps. Because nit ñi dañoo wax ne KMC dafa ñëw collect fii, so xaaral ñu def fi suñ waste bi. So we've also increased the amount of street cleaners. One day dëkk bu gën a set si àdduna bi sax, bu dëkk bu gën a am equipment, nit ñi suñ change seen habit rek dafa métti. Because KMC, no matter how many street cleaners we have on the street, mënuñoo musa outnumber number of citizens and pedestrians. So if only 10% of your citizens are pedestrians, you're nekk di litter, dëkk bi dafa set. Wante su fekkee ñëpp ñi ngi litter all the time, it's a huge problem. So ñun cultural problem lañ am. So one time lu ma def, dama bindoon IGP and the president. Ma ne leen ne, it's a letter called Clarion of Action. Si biir letter bi, I name many things. Importation of used tires, importation of used ovens and fridges and machines, etc. Ma def in terms of di defar lu ñoo ooyee car city. Mooy pour discourage nit ñi di jaay moto fu nekka. ñu ma identify 3 plots of land, benn bi Kamalo, beneen bi Abuko, beneen bi Kotu, pour fu ñoo mun a move all the car sellers and mechanics. Then lastly lu ma wax mooy, in the Clarion of Action letter, let the government comme niñ def seat belt law bi, seat belts, and an anti-littering law bu nga xam ne all the police in the country will be sensitized. Just like they would arrest somebody for driving without a seat belt, they will arrest people for littering. Absolutely. Because you know seat belt, people must start. 99% of Gambians drove without a seat belt. But because of that enforcement, like cultural revolution mo am, everybody drives with a seat belt.
Good.
Even taxi drivers, ñoo nga xam ne ñoo dee gën a resist. So suñ defoon the same thing with the littering. Lolo dafa change habit in you over time. But because this letter came from opposition, they did not want to hear it. One day, there is no level of equipment, no level of manpower that can change the littering and dumping problem if enforcement is not there. If nini ragalun to get arrested or embarrassed for littering. So, and lolo ñun with our municipal police, just 200 officers, we cannot pull that off. So, the National Environment Agency, Ministry of Environment, the police and the municipal councils, ñun ñoo mëna come together ñu enact lolo. Not that we are going to give up. We are still going to do our part. One day, it's a very, very difficult issue to deal with. In the issue of the not going for third term, Marelo, this issue, I think, is a matter of principle and promoting good governance and democracy. Ñun talk nañ on every platform, the one Barrow should not do a third term, no to third term. We are a democratic party whose core principles involve term limits. So, su fekkee ne ñun ñi ngi téye elected positions and mënuñoo demonstrate ne ñun lu ñoo wax gom nañ ko, then I think we're doing a disservice to the people or nekkuñ di wax dëgga. So moo tax man, I find that there's one political flaw bu dee am that pushes politicians to go for third term. And mooy aji lu moo wax right now. The fear ne so taxawaatut, we might lose the seat. The fear ne if you bow out, amuloo leneen loo yaakaar, you might leave the political arena. And loolu moo dee tax at the very end of your 2-term limit, sa political affiliates, sa allies yi surround you and say, Mayor da nga war a taxawaat, soo taxawaatut NPP ñooy jël seat bi, soo taxawaatut sa political career dafa jeex. And then lulu force la nga taxawaat even soo ko bugut. And let me tell you, that's the same thing that is happening to Barrow. Am na ñu ko gomloo ne su taxawaatut dafa nekk a target of the UDP. So taxawaatut, NPP will lose the election, UDP will come into power. So man lu ma def knowing that this is likely going to happen and it will happen. But during my re-election, just like Diki Tubabi, during my re-election, I announced that this is my final term if I win. And I did that on purpose to disarm everybody and to prepare everybody mentally. Because part of even losing to the incumbent in a mayoral election is because so tell to announce capable candidates will not start preparing. And let me tell you, UDP has a lot of capable mayors. Man lañ mean, man lañ ham. But I believe that I have set the tone. Sampana Foundation be. One what a mayor should be doing. And let me tell you, once I leave, there will be people ñu nga xam ne yenn sa da ngeen di surprised at their quality. Party bi musna am these people. Duñ teel a wax, but I'm telling you, there are probably 10 to 20 good quality people in UDP thinking right now about the mayoral seat for KMC. And you know, suma tell to wanna wax. They will assume that I will automatically come back again because mayor I'm the 3-term limit as far as the law is concerned, and they will not be preparing themselves. So I don't think Aji should fear about that. In terms of 2026,
Aji next mayor be Nene Freda.
Why not? Why not? Although UDP mayor will not farle.
No, lolo da Musa Jammeh mu ne kan
nga join.
Kan nga ko convince mu join UDP. Musa Jammeh lola la.
Lola ma ne ko mu join UDP su bëgg suñ support. Wow, so the next one I think the dafa automatically duga si Mr. Yusufa Dabo question ambi about are we working towards how we can come together as young mayors pour seet naka lañ mëna win a 2026 election. Right now we started discussions actually. With young people you don't know in the waxtaan, not very coordinated. When they don't know in the waxtaan about things that we need to do. One thing I can tell you, there is no party right now that has more than 50% of the vote. So the last survey I saw, conducted by one of these survey companies, was UDP is the biggest party, but it's not the majority. last survey bu ma gis was
lolu soko waxe lolu tabu la lolu biggest party.
Well, yeah, even election results yu romba. Nga xool 2021 the 27%, although some will argue there was a lot of illegal votes, etc., etc. Man, I never go into those details. What I say is based on eligible voters, whether legally or illegally, because I think we need to be very pragmatic about this and not emotional.
Yeah.
End of day, it's a numbers game. So kumuna sani karta fonga konde ko. So based on that 27%, after lolu nga whole National Assembly results yi, nga whole councilor yi sen results yi, nga whole each councilor ñata la am si wards yi. Though we won, we did not win the majority.
Yeah.
Because in a ward where there's 4 candidates, the nga gis UDP mo am maybe 30%, kenen mo am 10%, kenen mo am 15%, kenen when they so combine opposition to UDP votes, they have a larger majority than we do. It's only in the mayoral election where you saw mayors being able to pull more than 50%.
Okay.
And that is not magic. It's based on a lot of work throughout the mayoral career of trying to get non-UDP members part of our programs and agendas, i.e. Nene Frida Gomez. Right? So to get people like that on
MC Chamile.
MC Cham, yeah, to get them on board, to be part of your team, to be part of, because end of day, you're going to need those votes to cross the line.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So during my campaign, Nene was part of the campaign team, MC Cham was part of the campaign team, Christian community for the most part, non-UDP were part of the campaign team. A lot of the traditional NPP people were part of the campaign team. Lolu mo ñu push over the edge, but you am 54%. So that same type of work has to continue in 2026. And this is coalition building. It's just not party coalitions, but it's coalition among groups and a diverse set of people who have different political beliefs, but under one agreement. And that one agreement, this government needs to change.
Yeah.
Wow. So I can tell him that work has started. We don't want to be very detailed about exactly what we're doing. But of course, young leaders, we have to coordinate. And his last question was on the road network. Like I've said on my last interview, we are forging ahead. We don't think we're doing anything illegal. If the government wants to stop us, then they have to come in front of the bulldozers and stop them. One day, they have to break the law to stop that work. But if they break the law, they use legal routes to make sure we get compensation or we sue them. But I doubt it. There's nothing in the law that allows them to stop this project. And like I've said in all the interviews, we are going ahead full blast because you didn't engage from the very start. We got all the MOUs, all the agreements. They were part of the procurement process. So you break some contractual agreement with the contractor, you break some social contract with the community. So as far as I'm concerned, we are going ahead.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. I will ask these people on the call. I do have to apologize. I'm not taking any more callers. These 4 people, if they ask questions, we got to draw the curtain. Yeah, because good enough. And I have also got a question from an NPP supporter. Very interesting. Mom is the person is a regular listener.
I love your show.
Yeah. The person has just sent a text message. Those 3 questions I will reserve. There are 2 other questions from UDP family, which they're very important. A lot of people are pressing. I will reserve those questions after these callers have asked their questions. So, Sering, I don't know whether you're still, otherwise I can go to Amadou. Sering, are you ready now?
Segu Abaraka, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sering, how's it?
Yeah, so Ninkan tell a question at a Jamfala Bake. The question is why MPP and Adam Barrow Bralia Land Project or in Daddy Bruka Silo Doku Munatine Balanding Alignato. What is the reason? Can you just dwell on that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sering Keta. Kasa Mone Manula, Lord Mayor.
Fair now.
Haridi my fati. Okay, another question. Lord Mayor will take and answer. Amadou of Sobea. Fair nine.
Mayor Mangla niyo di rafetlu sa teewaay fii nii.
Fair now.
Alhamdulillah ñu ngi ko rafetlu bu baax a baax. Di gis suñu nit ñi di ñëw di waxtaan ak nit ñi. And Sekou yow tam maa ngi laa jaajëfal for facilitating this.
Thank you.
Lu ma bëgg a laajte mooy few days ago maa ngi doon seetaan West Coast. Oda Gomez interview bi nga fa doon def. Yaa ngi firndeel ne bi mooy nekk sa last term as mayor because da nga bëgg a taxaw two term basically set a precedent te loolu loo xam ne la tamit rafetlu nañ ko bu baax a baax. Léegi lu ma bëgg a laajte because wax nga ne tamit am nga higher political ambitions. Why specify you know exactly what was it? Léegi lu ma bëggoon a xam ndax yow pare nga pour contest for flag bearer of UDP and taxawal UDP as a presidential candidate. Ndax am nga ambition boobu noonu? And if yes, loolu 2026 la moo nekk wala 2031? Loolu moo nekk suma question bi. Am na kuma message dafa bëggoon a egg waaye mënut a egg so xam na di ngeen ma mën a permit ma laajal ko question am bi.
Well, yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. So mune the roads around his office, mayor la more reference around his office, mune are very bad. What is his position on that? Mune and Serekunda market in the rainy season, there are no gutters. Come to bit of data. So legi mune malaja la lulu no.
Thank you, Amadou. Thank you. Thank you for joining. It's a pleasure. So Lord Mayor, you munga tontu ñaari questions you know.
Wow. Jërëjëf maa ngi tontu Serigne small brother Madrid, right?
Madrid.
Wow. So roads bi moom I think is a very simple thing. Mooy ne lu tax gars yi di ko jéem a block, what purpose does it serve for them? Mooy from the start with Barrow and MPP ñoom they are very short-sighted. Pour ñoom any implementation bu UDP mayor def somehow affects their politics because ñoom dañu bëgg a brand UDP as a trouble party, as a problematic party bu amul vision, party bu du deliver services. Moo tax soo bàyyee sa xel in the past when we were doing all the projects di implement dañ dee wax ne Talib amul jikko UDP, Talib is not a real UDP. Pour jéem a separate Talib Bensouda, the mayor that is delivering from UDP, the problematic party. So, loolu la gaay dee bugg a def. So it hurts them every time a UDP mayor delivers on a project because that goes against their narrative. Mooy ñoom luñ bugg a label nit ñi. So my political platform, I came in as a known entity through UDP. Before UDP, kenn xamuma.
Yeah.
Okay, I became a UDP mayor. I served as a UDP mayor, won and re-elected as a UDP mayor, and continue to serve as a UDP mayor with UDP principles.
Exactly.
So UDP diverse party line.
Yeah.
I'm named peace builders, I'm named haircut, I'm named progressives, I'm named conservatives. This is the dynamic. So it's a very diverse, complex party and dafa am representation on all sides. Wow. So basically man delivering on a service that's an aspect of UDP of service delivery.
Yeah.
So delivering on these routes hang up more and more now because increasingly they cannot divorce me from the identity of the party. So what they're doing now is how do they block our projects and stop them from happening. One day because they don't want to be seen as outright blocking the projects. So they're trying to use administrative tools. But in a nutshell, that is the purpose. Blocking UDP or blocking mayor means trying to block UDP. Now, when you see Amadou question, I'm very loaded. So, man, stating this is my last term as mayor, is not connected with any future political ambition. Bobu is just a matter of principle. Right? So it goes against popular political advice. Because many people approach me because you never know what is going to happen in the future. And my answer is, I don't care what happens in the future. Whether I have another opportunity in politics, whether I don't have another opportunity in politics, fonga am gum fonga am lo topa. Do your lan nga am or lan nga neka is about lan nga gum. Luma gum moy, there must be a 2-term limit from presidency to mayor to councillor to national assembly member. Because lolu moy the beauty of democracy. Daf de muna recreate bopam. Daf de muna re-engineer bopam. Daf de muna new face. There can be a mayor after me who does blunders, who is a terrible mayor. And the beauty of democracy is he will be voted out and the system will self-correct.
True.
One day, if I use my incumbency and keep winning, I use my advantage, put potentially more brilliant mayors from coming or more messed up mayors from coming, man nitla, dama sona, dama door the complacent, dama door the run out of ideas.
Yeah.
And the more you stay in a position, more sa character sa munna door di change. You can change from the very good democratic service delivery guy and you can become a very terrible guy. So the best practice is, after a 10-year period, it's better to bow down, allow other people to come in. Now, politics, mom, is dynamic and yala moham. Man wills and God,
Okay, moderator, please don't. Okay, hold on. Alaji Kijara is a minute. Moderator, can I move Selendi Kotenke, please? Can I move Selendi? It's exceeded the number. 6 people already. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So in terms of flag bearer issue, like I said, that's a very sensitive issue. I would prefer not to get into those details. But of course, if there was any opportunity to serve my country, especially in this platform of UDP in the future, of course, it's a privilege and honor to take up that opportunity. So, Lolumom, any domi UDP, suko mune, suko buge will not shy away from that.
No. Lord, sorry to apologize. Moderator, mafo yenyu move drop. Ngamere bambas drop le aning Kijera. Bring them, but just stop it there. Don't drop them, okay? I think you just drop Bambas and Kijera. They want to give them chance. Sorry, Lord Mayor, to interrupt.
Yeah, sure.
It's Selendi and Kotenge. What more flow Selendi, please? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I ended.
Yeah, is there a question?
So
Mayor,
about the specific person, couldn't why if it tell me. 90% of Gambians' roads or 95% are unbuilt. It's a difficult scenario. Many people struggle. 15 kilometers in your build is just to make things better. But Gambia needs a comprehensive infrastructure plan. Not Lubarodi Def, the Aba Hallis, the jail grants, the Sampa. That's an easy thing to do if you have unlimited places to borrow. But what is the plan? Even guys, you get Sampa roads, but there's no economic plan around it.
Okay.
There's no calculation of the social impact. So, I have done a calculation, Sehu and Amadou. Gambia needs 5,000 kilometers of roads to be fully built, to be 90% built. And I think there should be a clever way of doing that without burdening the country. Because so you build roads, you expect economic growth. And based on that projection on economic growth, you expect your tax base to increase and your revenue base. So, unfortunately, as a council, we are very limited as to how far we can solve those problems. One day, we do what we can with the little we have.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, moderator, formally phone drop. I was not, I was not referring to them. Kijera and this, I was referring to additions after those two because there's 6 people on the call already. I was addressing, but it's okay. Maybe they thought that it's already loaded, that's why they dropped. But Bambas is part of this platform, and Kijera, you guys can come back and ask your questions if you want. Otherwise, it's okay. So thank you so much. Sering is a difference drop, no, and then we have Mariama now and Gings as the last people. So Mariama, go ahead, please.
Yo, assalamu alaikum. Sehu nge kontom bake.
Inimbara.
Na broda kontom minkata talipti. Ngalte tuba program odiata anum kontanta nga talip fananji tana jenyum platform oto jam. ala kumol be sereare nyine karola ba jadu kukan aya baraka bake se ho nganyina lo UDP to UDP wol katra sereare ne andi ni kuma senu da malemu ni nyine ka anything la da so da dawda ni nyine ka do se jabi yo ndela sta mu fo ndama nyine ka sto mal bin kala talib la barka talib ten to ka jayi abe do ko nyima mi natente ma ten to la bake ka jayi ani rohi ani landi ani yakuba I just keep wonyame benyame keep it up yeah. Definitely because you do cool be better than back UDP le be wonyama yeah. So left me for le drong ya kata bake ikana government in mind it told me do ko mina ya lon ko be do ko kendo lela you continue wala government support no la wotakela because masakunda wa min londro wala mi deko momo ya lon ko imam ko do iman la fila yeah. So it told me do ko kendo mine continue wala drom gambia dingo bebe duale min be diaspora ba min be gambia mo bebe duale momo be MPP manta MPP be UDP manta UDP mo be la fili la do ko because gambia bele yaje gambia dingo be dunia dawda se ko bele nyabala talib nyol be do ko mina landi be do ko mina rohi be do ko mina yankuba be do ko mina gambia dingo bele yaje so ambe duale ba ke le do ko ni alma samanya so
amen
understanding for like alasta ayin time limit o nyimmin fo tentenga ne rohinyolo mola kuma kane bondi noto good sample le di tenti nyino mu UDP UDP nyino law ngam nyino law be bina kele ka wala ni ko nyin time limit talib me fo ka nyima support back 100%. So I know what ala future be beti ala inshallah it will be ibe yemi fo tenti danta wato don ila future nyato ala ba beti andila inshallah rabbi ala be mako ila so it will man ke mot mi ko corrupta so thank you very much ila ite fanana do ko kendo la gambie dingoli ibe mol mako kan ibe mol londi kan kule mamini long ani mimbe kumparing abaraka talib thank you very much content yo
thank you
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Maria.
Baraka. Nice comment.
Thank you so much, Sister Maria. Okay, Tungo Marina. You see, you've also done the Juga Sise thing. You said you've put your question in the comments. I tried to see it, Maje. I couldn't ask. So if you can rewrite it again, because mail a question, I strolled through the computer, up. I couldn't find your question. So if you can retype it again, please, because I couldn't find it. Because when the comments are so many, sometimes it's very difficult to filter through and find the relevant comments. So thank you so much. Ginks is I don't know if he's an independent guy, but sometimes I think he's more sympathetic to MPP than anything. Ginks, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Ginks is independent. He's super independent.
Yeah, I never got on yet. Independent. He always does very good analysis on TikTok now. Lord Mayor.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. I'll follow him.
Yeah, Ginks, welcome to the show.
Lord Mayor knows me very well.
He knows you.
I know.
Yeah, so thanks for having me, and I want to thank the Lord Mayor also for his time, for the manner in which he conducted himself throughout this process, and I really applaud the honesty in his answers as well. So that's very commendable. So I just wanted to ask, so Lord Mayor, so I know before your political career, so you were you serve at the board of ANSYS, so which is a technology company, right? So you understand the importance of digital transformation. So what I want to know is how have you tried to digitally transform KMC operations and services, and what progress have you made, if any, and what were the challenges?
Okay, thank you, Gangs. More Mune is over 2 hours. My lawyer may be sonana. You go what I buy modem. Why you see you want to ask? But anyway, we'll try to keep it within 10 minutes if we can, 15 minutes at most. What a pass Lulu. So Lord Mayor, thank you. Go ahead. And I don't know whether you want to take another from
I'll take another one.
Okay, Tunko Marina is on the call. Tunko, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have asked a question and I feel it's like 1 hour.
No, I cannot see it on the computer if it is pinned. I cannot see it. I can only see it on the device. Yeah.
Yeah. My question is, the court has ruled in favor of punishing municipal council 2 weeks ago in regards to bringing the CEO back and breaking into the office. Now I'm asking the mayor what is the consequences since every illegal action, has a repercussion in law. So what is now the start? What is the cost order in regard to the damage that the government has caused by breaking into their office and putting somebody there who was found to be corrupt?
Okay, thank you, Tungo Marena. Good question. So, Lord, now you can answer those two questions, and then
All right. Yeah. So for Gings, thank you. Very few people know I served on the board of Insist Global. So he knows me very well. Yeah. So basically, like Numko KMC, we've done a lot of transformation. One of them is the payroll. We've digitalized the payroll. Although there's still some issues there. The second one is the license. We have put the license in sort of more organized office, but we are trying to basically get a software on it that we have for our rates. So introduce now what we call a matrix software at our rates department. We are trying to expand it to our license. Also, government will have introduced on the IFMIS. IFMIS be more on the integrated financial management system. All government offices are supposed to use. So we've integrated that. We also brought about the GIS system. I think we are the council with the fully functioning geographical information system in-house. So basically, even when we do our designs, when we do our graphics for projects we are doing, we are using the GIS, we're using satellite data to basically look at the planning of the municipality. Of course, also with the Ministry of Information, definitely the Google Plus codes. Right now, we are trying to digitalize our revenue through Ambalit with the University of Essex project, which is funded by the French Development Agency. So we leverage, we are increasingly leveraging on technology to increase and make services more efficient. But look at it, more challenging, more staff capacity. Like I said, the number one challenge of any municipality or any council, more the staff capacity. Salaries are too low because it's on government pay scale to attract talent or to attract people with the right education background to be able to fully exploit these technologies and utilize them. The other challenge, of course, we face is the cost of some of this technology and the utility of it. The third challenge is the cultural aspect. Gambians tend to reject technology and change. And of course, when there's entrenched interest, Sakatuma with corruption, etc., people don't like technology. So they try not to use it because it does increase accountability. So human resource control is our biggest challenge. But definitely technology improve the services of the municipality in many aspects. So Mbalits, for example, Mbaliti they have a GPS device on the Mbalit trucks. They have sensors on the trucks that look at speed control, that look at the fuel gauge, that look at how long it takes them to go in and out, when they start, when they stop, and it's all digital. So we have a fleet management system that we use in our Mbalit. We also introduced the 1244 hotline, and it's a customer complaints software, which is supposed to manage customer complaints. But like I said, although all these resources are available, the use by the staff sometimes is a challenge because A, capacity might not be there. B, the initial reactions might just be then they reject technology because it might track their productivity, which they don't like. 3, it might kill the sources of corruption. So I think that's the major challenge. With Ibrahim Tunko, yes, we did win a landmark case, the second one, at the Supreme Court, which was a welcome victory. When there's so many, remember, it's a declaration. It was a declaration.
Okay.
So it was a declaration to say, basically, these are illegal or who has power in what. So we were seeking that declaration because we have a legal strategy, which I don't want to say here. But we do, that court case did not have any punitive request by the council.
Okay.
We did not seek for any damages. We have another court case pending in the High Court where we are seeking $20 million in damages. So we will have to wait for that court case to conclude because the cases are related. But hopefully we will get damages through that. But like I said, it's in legal strategy, it's best not to speak about what the plan is and just let it play out.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Now we have got Jinx. Thank you. I think your question is answered. And Bambas, now and Laji Kijera, the final call is on TikTok, and then we're going to wrap up. Bambas, go ahead, please.
Yeah, broadly. So thank you so very much for this wonderful job. And of course, Lord Mayor Bensouda has also done a wonderful job here by honestly answering these very difficult questions. Yeah, my question is in two parts. One is about the Bakote dump site, the former Bakote dump site, because I learned that there is no more dumping taking place there now. And they are trying to do a project there, which is about refinery project. So if you can please elaborate on this, how far is that project, or has it even started? And also, I've heard, in one of your interviews, I think on Kelfatu or somewhere, you said that, you have difficulties with your trucks, having their way out in some areas because of the roads and the congestion of the places. So how is that as well? How far have you gone to try to sort this out? So these are the questions that I just want to ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bambas, for being very precise and brave. Kijera, Alaji Kijera, welcome. It's all final contributor to be. Alaji Kijera.
Yo, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Segu ekontom bake. Ke tentu bake ila doku kendo me ibake kan Gambia tingli UDP damate Gambia mume be ibake kawole.
Abaraga.
Ndesa na ngana Lord Mayor kontong na kanunte ba ko
Ngejo.
ndishkungo to. Ndama koksono soto mbe men anyini kala men na bari suwo ko borle bari kala fa yarolol. Talibe ay nyafita bakele ndela miro mume be alhamdulillah talibe yoloto awlod lale. Katumbi nga KMC tar nyamen na animbi KMC fatatalde wato melen takadum KMC ka finti animbi brin jawra la wato fo APRC nata fo kofi min dula me ya lon kan wota dribla o beje ntata jeli lundo nga jejube ko cey ko alale doko doko ni doko di doku kanu la meyo doko don be doko keno bari yalon sulo ni sani cheno dunga kawato kayta kulli dula ya torale alhamdulillah rabbil alamin te kay mbetal be tentula and be UDP fanam tentula mbe jayila
Abaraga.
Katu nyimo kende sifar si bono UDP le katu bimbe tembo medo bi katu to nyala e ba fo kan ha coalition bari Gambian ko mam pare Senegalais biri parete be kafta nyomale patio me warto kaftolo me ye martsam da bo otorin Gambian ko lafta di same thing na ye kaf pati bama coalition kumo membe be fo kam fo place ni ngom bang fo ndun ka banko sendi ko malom bang atari abla kili to ba because ntanga jele UDP kono mol be men yalo ko they are very capable people and they are very responsible people no meti ni ajibe le meyo be jube bring kadam ta bring jara fokana bula banjul yele meyo le jube yankuba dabo nyolo kata bula roki man dola iya jibe sanji jalun tan Gambia be wato kono bara jibe banjile falindiro menke ni wati kuntunde kono sakonna ya ter government fa be wakil pour que idema ila do nyanta dola damen na yolo iyeje Bartonya be damen na wolum tonya drom baro manya ta time Gambia dingu telefon manya na sonna wala because telefon manya na sonna wala because bare interdendi le fa pareta So tarde ay tarde que le fa preta. So men fana be do ko la abelori wol nyaato amalla fi wol do ko ke. Ya jibe ya
abaraka alaji modo fana be baturola nisa wrap up no right
min talibe min felenti ba message ka lokilo fana di same thing nko mbe afala human mbe kukilina fala human right defenders of men de Gambia nko dunia ka falim ne human right defenders ol nak maka beta ka ñete lekan directly dunia ka falim ne bi sama balo be manya jawi amenke ka UDP na la executive o na la do kulal sama ni UDP na ta banko ta kana human right kuma ka moyje ka fu human right na nyanta kala tan nyanta kala tan ali ya be baro la baro be tulun kan dambe dinna be tulunna mo kendo la men
ya kijara ngawo comment batu political discussion also thank you so much kijara abaraka so I do apologize. I did say this, he was going to last call, but our brother in Sweden also really said he wants to ask a question. Alaji Ture is on the phone. Alaji, if you can make it very brief, because really it's late now.
Very brief. Hello, Talib. Mayo.
Hello.
Greetings. Did you get your 11.1 million from Adam Barrow? No.
13.1, not yet.
13.1, okay. Talib Banyan Kalamana for the wider views, Gambia. Comment all I remember for the first 3 years old, that is true. At the first 3 years old, among any hodul soto, because Talib I low profile letano, among active politics. Bring Talib active politics that is wrong, Adam Barrow get furious.
Okay.
Anim faran Nyaltan to the UDP doing, I think Gambia doing. We have to follow our politicians. Yeah, the Talib men among kumpa, Rohimari men among kumpa, landing bisane, Abiran Sweden jane. Aldo, landing bisane men ngalon, alinga trying to engage, yeah. Ngan politician follow ibe do call menula abe kumala die back and just comment Kafuko Talib has to come and tell us everything but it will fall nyanta participate jebe kumala back but Talib is doing a fantastic job. We have to change our attitudes.
Yeah.
But we have to educate our people. Why? People don't understand why they should pay tax. You would be very proud to pay tax. Too many people say we pay tax. But Gambia still we need to educate our people. Kajiko tax I can never
yeah.
It's the they would go and pay tax.
Baraka Alaji, I'll thank you. Thank you, Alaji. Thank you. We're gonna thank you so much. That's it. Now call us all Banjana. Allowed me Olegi again. Call us. I think we have done. You've been here almost coming to 3 hours. So thank you. Munga turn to you. Then NPP call us because
Bambas. Wow. Thank you. Alaji Kijera, Alaji Ture. Definitely. My content. See what a back ala baraka. Bambas question ambi. He had 2. Then I mean that back what they dump said people have stopped dump there. No, they're still dumping there.
Okay.
The reason luta ni judin ko de is the tremendous amount of work and investment bu dugo fofu. Back what they dump said nobody then did them rombo because I don't have ne mongfa. Because we have completely fenced it. Our head beam has reduced drastically. So rombe sa nga wind down sa windows. Most of the time, do they hang there and the farm green zone buin the farsikanam. So it's like a forest in front. So fence buin the you don't see it. Takarma in the Nawet period. Then we have put there a lot of investment, recycling sheds, concrete roads, water piping system, toilet blocks. Then for invest a lot of money. In the next few months, we're expecting recycling machines to come in there, tire shredding machines, plastic recycling machines. We just finished signing a contract with Green Cycle. So 4 years legi amul safaratam in 4 years, which is unheard of. I'm not time, but it used to go on fire for months. Dafa nekk di tàkk rek. Benn maire mus naa dee sax because of inhalation of smoke. Yeah, so lot of work. Now, dañu am project dëgg la. We have a project bu nga xam ne KMC ñoo ut grant bi with the European Investment Bank to the tune of 48 million euro. That project also will benefit Banjul City Council and Birkama Area Council. Dafa war a build biodigesters or recycling plants in Banjul and KMC and build an engineered landfill in Birkama. And it will close the Bakote dump site starting 2027. When they're given the project, be the element of sovereign loan to Gambia government. Ministry of Finance have to be involved. So ñun luñ def mooy to avoid any political blockage or fracas or push and pull. KMC dafa decide to step back and push Ministry of Finance as the promoter because xam nañ ne suñ deful loolu rek. They will not want Mayor Bensouda. They will not Mayor Bensouda launching a project like that and getting credit. So we step back and allow them. So, anyways, for the good of the nation, Bakore Domsa Sonal Nadekabi, very poisonous place. He mentioned truck access. You know, so they make Ibo Town, Talinding, Farokono. You go to Talinding, Farokono. You go to Ibo Town, Badala, Abuko, Badala, all these areas. It's a riverine area. Access is very poor. But in Gambia, there's a lot of injustice that has happened in terms of land management for a long period, decades. Alkali dañ dog people ñoo sampanu leen ne koñ yi dañ dee zigzag yena koñ they are so small ñeneen yaa ngi sampa si biir géej bi. So our trucks are so heavy duty they cannot enter those small areas. So strategy buñ def mooy we have moo tax ñu doon rebuild waste enclosures. So dañoo dem ba to a central point bu nga xam ne jigéen na ñu nekk and is accessible ñu teg fa skip bucket wala ñu sampa fa waste enclosure waa koñ bi yëpp ak inaccessible areas mu ñu indi seen waste bi foofu ñun later ñu ñëw pick ko up. Waaw wante still those areas sometimes are being served by donkey carts etc. which we're also working on trying to replace them. Last week maa ngi am visit from the animal rights activists. You don't talk about how donkeys are poorly treated by donkey cart operators. So one day we've told them, how can we work to replace donkey carts with tricycles? So that's a project we are working on. Very difficult thing to deal with because of poor planning. So UDP government, one of the things we should look at is affordable estates, affordable housing, developing affordable housing in the other regions. So, for example, North Bank has a lot of land. LRR has a lot of land. CRR has a lot of land. We should start looking at decentralizing Gambia's economy. And one of the ways in which we should do it more would be access between the banks by building a bridge between the Combos and the North Bank. Mohoma Banjul Bara Bridge. I'm saying Combos, North Bank Bridge. And Lulu will reduce travel time between these two regions. And that will enable us to build affordable housing somewhere in the north and the south that will reduce congestion in the combos. People moving away from the combos, lead them to the other regions, economic activity automatically move forward. Government are more decentralized. All the ministries don't have to be here. In that way, you can reclaim some of these lands in the riverine area. Not turn it into agricultural land, you can turn it into rice fields, etc. When they right now, they render homeless without any major economic plan or vision. Is irresponsible and reckless somewhere. So I think long term that is the only way to reclaim back these organized areas.
I think Alaji Kijara's one was just a comment and Alaji Ture as well. So
yeah.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Thank you so much. But I need you to the tail of a question. There's a question here they persistently ask, but I want to viewers. I've heard these ID cards in Mauritania, government going, some of the UDP members want to hear your comment on that. What is the UDP executive person? I know the media team is coming up with a statement You know,
Yeah.
I saw it in the media group today. So how on that statement is out in public or not, because Chego must see WhatsApp group be. But people have persistently said they want to hear a comment on that. Maybe I will just ask everything together. So the other thing that people have commented and time I did purposely, I didn't want us to go into that. More this allegation, you denga like a halisi diaspora funds, you know where that allegation came from. So some of our members want to hear you comment on that. So if you can comment on that, and I know them, and I know I'm a member of the Youth with Das executive. I think that's completely baseless, but they want to hear your comment on that also. This guy from NPP, who is a big fan of Bantaba, Mone dafa realize ne do they respect party leader am. Do they president ni mone you are so much disrespect to the mone fanga disrespect Baro. You were not like this before.
Well, so the ID card, like I said, both party is looking at what to do about it. Party position, amna. One day, I think the number one issue for me is how come when you were diaspora votes, it became so complicated for them. Yep, you get long answers. The diaspora is gonna take time, blah blah blah. Wanted to deliver ID cards to people in Mauritania is just apparently a 1 week issue. So why is that a priority? When we have diaspora all over the world, why are they going to Mauritania specifically? And national documents, immigration doesn't have to meet the diaspora where they are. If you are Gambian and you want national documents, you should come to the Gambia.
True.
Because there's laws that guide your ability to get national documents as an undocumented person. See, I'm not alkali attestation, I'm not birth certificate. Why does an immigration have to go? Because alkali be nekut fufu. Alkali be nekut wherever you are to attest you. So who is attesting you there? So I think it's just there's something going on, definitely. But
Something
I think there should be multiple.
We need to watch.
We all know what it's about. One day it's best not to preempt. We all believe it's election related and it's a way to register people who should not be registered. And the next one is the diaspora. You know, come nu ko waxe on one interview, diaspora funds yi man dafa am yu nga xam ne du ma ko dee safal. And dafa am na ñu nga xam ne du ma leen dee safal parce que duñ suma nawle and luñ dee wax du amul substance. And sometimes you have to respond to things that have credibility and people who have credibility.
True.
And you have the tam sa morom lañ in terms of politics. Man, I'm a 2-term elected mayor in the biggest municipality. More than ministers, some of them get upset. I mean, to be appointed as a minister is the easiest thing. I mean, how many people are educated? Nene Frida can be appointed as a minister. I'm the degree, I'm the background. Sedi Sehuli, you can be appointed as a minister. There's no extraordinary thing you have to do to be appointed as a minister. You just have to be somebody who the president either likes or who supports the president. So it's different now to be elected. To be elected is a whole nother ball game. So the guy is the minister. Very rarely unless they go really out of hand. So these diaspora funds, I think you are in the diaspora. Everybody knows how the party structure works. There's no money that comes to the organizing secretary or the campaign team. All money goes to the treasurer.
It goes to the treasurer, Amadou Sane.
And for money to come out, the party leader and the deputy party leader and the treasurer have to sign.
Fine.
So I think it's not worth responding to that.
No, my lord, I'll let you my question be. It's just the people on the comment section. You get past it, but man, I don't know.
It's so the last one is the president of NPP. Luma NPP supporter. At first, I used to be so quiet and I used to respect the president, Lutan Legi. Well, man, I think I still respect the president.
You still respect?
I don't.
Upfront.
In just what they made it, right? One day I still respect the president, but they should ask themselves, what has changed? Why was Talib so quiet, just doing? Because I was working, I was busy trying to serve the people of KMC. Didn't mind my business, but they just wouldn't let me be.
Yeah.
ñoom ñoo nekk suma case sonal ma toppa ma disturb ma harass ma, and at some point you have to fight back. So and man, I'm not really even fighting. Man, duma dee fight sax. Man, lu ma dee wax rek mooy the gross mismanagement that is happening in the country that is so obvious. The many promises they have broken, the constant attempts to usurp our democratic rights and to basically entrench themselves in power at the detriment of the population. The incredible amount of loans and debt they're taking on to do infrastructure projects that yield no benefit, and in most cases, overinflated infrastructure
Lord Mayor,
projects.
particularly the OIC vehicles, you know,
Exactly. So I'm going, yeah, Halis bi
instead of 3 billion.
bi.
Yeah, it's so.
Yeah, Halis bi ak matay bi mo buga bari, and we have to speak out as leaders. You know, we are leaders who people expect to call out injustice where we see it. On the nekud ne dañoo tooñ de man waxuma dara lu nga xam ne I am one person. I have never talked about Barrow's personality. I have never talked about his character. I have never talked about his family. Mansuma Wahere is about what his government is doing. And it's not even about what Barrow is doing. It's about what his government is doing. One day, I'm the Saga Nain Barrow. They said he was not intelligent. They said he was not capable. They said he stole money. There are people who talk about Barrow's character, his personality, even accuse him directly of fraud and other. The same people say, he should stay on. He's the most amazing
They
person.
are calling him a peaceful president. That is laughable. They've let the police cell twice. Twice. Is a peaceful president. But anyway,
So man Barrow dafa wara gërëm sax because man dëgg bi rek laa ko wax, and he should not go for third term for his own good. Because we've seen this story. Gis nga Seho, I know it's getting late. One day, aduna dafa good at tanka. There's a long history, human history that you should learn from. One day, every human being tends to make the same mistakes. Then you repeat the same mistakes. But history has taught us. See, adna bi gis na lu nekk, gis na kings, gis na tyrants, gis na dictators, gis na presidents trying to overstay. And I mean, there's a lesson right next door in Senegal.
Exactly.
That's not very long ago. And tey gis na njobooti Macky lu ñoo sona, lu ñoo torox. Gis nañ tey all the revelations, all the things going on. Barrow su jàngul right now du jàngat.
No, why bala nene di ñëw rek Lord ma bàyyi la rek ay Lord nene Freda join xam naa ne dafa bëgg a def comment rek why even the president of Botswana foog na recently mu ne any president going for the third time the person is a failure. So xam naa ne Masi Barrow yi la moo wax rek.
And that's a sitting president.
That's a sitting president. It's just like his counterpart in Botswana. So anyway, nene Freda Gomez. Sisla mu ne waruloo dugg fii mu ne you are not UDP Sisla. Some microphone is not working. We can hear you.
No way. It is working.
No, it's working now. It's working now. Yeah.
Mane nga read comment ju ko bi mang la ko yone bala ma wax mayor dafa wara tontu.
Fan nga ko sen? Fan nga ko sen?
Well.
Kenna la ko sa WhatsApp in solidarity my sister.
Oh, okay. Haral must check because you sent it to this phone, which I'm using for TikTok. I'm not allowed to use it. Haral must send. Haral must read ko. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing to have control over HR? What are they doing to have control over HR in bracket hiring process? Is it possible for the mayors to challenge this via parliament? Okay. What are they doing to have control over HR hiring process? Is it possible the mayors to challenge this via parliament? This is Juka's question, Mayor. That's Degangako. So
so I think part of the failures is definitely parliament as a government. Parliament have not really done much in terms of helping councils, giving the autonomy councils deserve, protecting us against government overreach. So by all these things we're achieving through the Supreme Court, really, Parliament more on all these changes. On the 2018 to date, they have really focused on themselves. They have not really done much, and the parliament is in a political deadlock. Ligi Mom is like nothing is happening, everything is just party lines. So when we came, we wrote a letter to the Ministry of Local Government, President's Office, Local Government Select Committee about amendments to all these acts that will give local councils more autonomy. One day they never took it up. Parliament never took it up, and that's the fact. And this is from 2018 to date.
Waaye léegi moom Lord Mayor léegi jërëjëf thank you good enough ñu bàyyi la nga dem sisla sax mu ma attaque sisla mu ne you normally go to bed by 9 p.m. ma ngi laa téye fi ba léegi sisla
no sisla am na suma time bi de man 9 rek ma tëdda
waaw jërëjëf Lord Mayor appreciate nañ ko jërëjëf amuloo morom thank you ñu bari kontaan nañ nag even suñu guys sobe seen PRO bi mu ne you've done well Ous Bob mu ne maa ngi read some of the feedback sobe ya seen PRO moom mooy seen diaspora seen PRO bi
that's great
mu ne you've done well I've seen the feedbacks and Mamadou Aliou Ndiaye moom kontaan na trop mu ngi wax ne everything went well so thank you so much Lord Mayor
appreciate it thank you
ñu bàyyi la nag léegi nga noppale ko demal thank you so much
thank you Nene good night
thank you okay Nene Fredo Gomez yow moom xam naa doo dee teel a tëdda suma maas nga so munga dekafi. So thank you so much, guys, on TikTok. We're gonna wrap up the show, but maybe I will give another 15 minutes for people who want to do analysis of Lord Mayor's interview on YouTube Online Bantaba. I want to thank all the viewers, all the callers that call in. I do apologize, Munoma Lache, all the questions because it's practically impossible. Because even the comment section questions were just there, and even my colleague Tungo wrote a comment. What people fail to understand when you are on the computer, if you pin, I cannot read the comments and just about Jukabisa. Nene, naka nga gisee interview bi?
Because it seems my mic has a problem.
You're audible now. You're clear.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad my oh, you asking me naka la interview? Just as I expect. You know what I mean? There are two comments right? And one it was when Mayo made the comment, anybody can be a minister because it's appointed or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because you know what? Minister is a prestige position. What is this? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Up on my screen. It's a very prestigious and honor, right? You have to be competent. You have to be skilled. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to be honest. You have to be a person of integrity and impeccable character. However, that is not the case in the Gambia here. It has been reached bottom. It has become to
those on TikTok. If you have noise, can you be muted, please? If you are on. Okay, let me drop this person. Sorry, Nene. Anybody who brings noise, we'll just drop you. Sorry, go ahead, Nene.
People can have the education and the degree, but then their skill set is not in line with the portfolio they are manning. So that also becomes a problem. It hinders productivity. It hinders effectiveness. It hinders results delivery. So that is an issue. It has to be refined, and that has to be looked into by. The other thing also, somebody mentioned earlier on, Talib was quiet the first 3 government disturbed and blah, blah. I sat here thinking, okay, the first 3 years, the government was busy on other things. Again, when Talib started, they were not paying attention. But when Talib exposed their incompetence, because this is a young guy, first time in a position, teaching them how institutions are supposed to work in terms of effectiveness, productivity, in terms of professionalism. Now it was, they became threatened by themselves and felt, oops, who is this guy who is doing it so different from all of us? We have to pay attention, and we have to do everything possible to demoralize ko, put his arm ko, and to get rid of him. And that's why things right after. So we have to outside the book and see the trend and what happened at one time. But and now
Nene, yang break nene. Gambia sen internet ibahun. So thank you so much, Nene. Let me go to. I have 4 people on TikTok who are still there. Mahmoud Alunjai, what was? Let me start with you. What's your reaction to this interview?
Naseho, this was splendid. This was really great. Ninge gerem mayo si tahawayam. Yota minula gerem for this platform.
Thank you.
Lila njit wara def. Njit wata ragal niti. Njit dafa watana deglu from anywhere. It's not like people send you questions and here, but this is what leadership is truly about. And we're encouraging other politicians and other aspiring candidates, the watan and the jail questions. I know Netamit, he's done, he has a track record already. So this is a time we learn him Ali. 8 years, Digala Budana Gatana, why he's done so much, with the help of Nene Freda and all these other people, MC Cham. This is what we need. And he answered the questions maturely. You can tell he temperament and be. This is say so dafa am seeing us here. And temperament is one of those. Can you question bo xamne dang si gis bopam mu mer di yu ak yoyu lila danga dal ni danga dal nga ewu nga xam askan bi luñ soxla ba pare not just you just want to tell them what you want to tell them. He was answering the questions with clarity and honesty, and most of these things, some of them he's repeated over and over again.
Thank you. Gings, what is your reaction to this interview?
It's as expected. So as I said, I've known Talib for ages now, so I know that he will deliver. I know that he's very calm and collected and very composed. So, but to be honest, I would like to commend you yourself. I think you handled it really well.
Thank you.
You asked a lot of important questions, and it wasn't biased at all. So it wasn't like you were trying to favor or just ask things that will just make him look good. You ask questions that even opposition camps have concerns with. And I think he answered really well. I had no doubts in his ability. As I said, I've worked with him. So he may not know the name I'm using online. But when I mentioned...
But I think he recognized your voice.
I believe he may have. But I think it was insightful. And I think this is what we need.
Thank you.
With regards to just being able to communicate with the leaders directly. I think there are a lot of people that really don't know him or give him the chance. They just go by what they hear. So in this opportunity to see him in action and probably interact with him, ask him questions, see how well he does. I think this is important, and I think this is something that should be done with all leaders as well.
I will have Chairman Yankuba Dabo also. He will be here. BAC, because BAC is such a big place, and we'll bring him here.
That would be exciting because that is my area.
He will be here. He will come here.
I used to work at the KM area, but then I live in the BSC. So
BSC, okay.
But I think this is good, and this is something that is necessary for us to have these dialogues.
Thank you, Yandamit. I really appreciate the non-UDP supporters because you also came here and you participated. We need to have a national discourse. We cannot all be in the same party, but divergence is always a bonus. And let's just continue the discourse. Hamnane Osbo Momaton Monete Domireu dinañu defal benen ka gudi.
No, why to give credit to Osbok, I've sent some questions to Esafal and he answered them right away.
Oh, great. No, why Esa to me, the media. Esa do they stay away from media,
So to give them credit, I think they need to come out and also talk. I'm not surprised you'll bring Yankuba Dabo and all of them. I think you should invite everyone.
Yankuba will be coming, inshallah. Thank you so much. Bambas. Banwaji. Hana yo yaay lead delegation bobu. Na pata PJ mogo lead hana. Yunus. Okay, thank you. Bambas, your final thoughts and before we wrap up.
Say who?
Now?
réew mi o kuy kooku
kan
doomi réew mi ku nga wax dafa
no doomi réew seen xarit bi xariti BMG platform xamuloo doomi réew
ko
he laajal juka kan mooy doomi réew
ok naa ko laaj
ak maam Lisa
ok naa leen laaj
ak kii ak Kassa Cissé Mandimore ak Lady Chilel ñoo xaritam Lady Chilel ak ñoom ñooy xaritam nag ba pare du dee bëgg a kenn laal Yaya Jammeh nag soo bëgg a xuloo ak moom rek laal Yaya Jammeh
Yaya Jammeh la gën a fonk Essa Faal sax anga moom mu ne soobi Yàlla ay support
waaye soo laalee Jammeh nee di nga werante ak moom suba ba ngoon
Yaya Jammeh la ma waatee kooku duma waxa du yow
anyway buñ guddal wax bi léegi we are coming to the end of it moom dina def live xam naa si guddi bi so Bambas thank you Alaji Kijera thank you so much guys it's already past 11 good enough man tamit sonna na I have to go so I thank you we're gonna wrap up the show be suma invite wara am ki Chairman Youngster I will do the announcement so mom tamit dina wara ñew fi ñu am dima because West Coast tamit is such an important place nee waaye gaa ñu ngi laajte ñu ne kañ nga ñëw UDP nag
dinaa ko announce
Mario tamit dañ laa yóbbu si paa bi léegi xam nga ñun stop nañ loolu de léegi nit ñëw yóbbu la si paa bi loolu dañ ko stop léegi
because amoon a potential husband from Badibu mu break suma heart so moo taxit I change my mind
Sisla
fan that boy from Nokunda kooku wax rek la dee du kooku somebody else
waaye Sisla xam nga nee la boo interesting te gisuma Sisla binda Man United result bi mbaa xanaa Man United dañ win
loolu laa gis de fanaa dañ win de
waaw loolu da Sisla bindu dara suñu United lose rek dina binda waaye ngo dañ am ñaari trouble makers fii ma ñu si suma TikTok group bi mama ki Lady Chilel ak Kassa Cissé Mandimore ñii dañoo sonal Mai Fatty di hack Mai Fatty's Facebook
steadily they're very nice
no but ñoom ñoo hack Mai Fatty Facebook am bi how could they do that to Mai Fatty ñu Kasama ak Lady Chilel ñoom ñoo complot hack Mai Fatty's Facebook
loolu may dina ko arrest na nobu
waaye nee good night waaye bàyyi na ma bàyyi la beneen yoon thank you bye bye that's a good one bye bye thank you guys thank you good night bye bye